ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Off Point. My name's Les Steed.
I'm Marlon White.
And today we are with Reiss Kershi.
Woo. Hello.
So, tell us about yourself.
Oh, that's such a... I hate that question.
No, it's a shit question. You're
that's
right.
the worst.
All right. I've got a list.
It's like an interview question.
The thing is, though...
Sorry, but it's just the easiest intro. I mean, I was lazy.
It?
That was lazy. Yeah, no, that was lazy journalism.
You're a journalist, man. Come on.
Okay, right, I can do better than that. Tell us about your sex life. No, I'm joking. No, okay, right. But we got a little brief beforehand. So you've been working in adverts. You're an actor at the moment. Like you're doing... you've been doing stuff like brokering in the city. You've done, and recently you've been in a movie. Can you tell us about the movie?
Well, yeah,
straight to the cell.
Let's get to the promos. You know?
Yeah, let's go straight to the promo. And you've got a book out, I hear. No, I'm joking.
Not yet. You know,
on the list.
On the list. I mean, honestly, for me, everything is on the list.
Yeah,
everything.
Good.
You know,
that's good, actually.
That's kind of my. I think really that's why I probably pursued acting, like ultimately. You know, and
when did you make that change?
I don't really know if it was a change. I mean, my story is I was always... Yeah, I think I always want... I'm like most kids, right? Like everyone as a kid, they want to do a bunch of different things.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like every year I was asked to be a different thing. But I think for me, the thing that was always interesting was, I guess, broadly storytelling.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be somehow in that world. I think firstly, it was through the Pixar movies.
Oh,
that was like...
Which was your favourite?
It's got to be Toy Story, man. Toy Story 2.
I'm a Wall-E kind of guy, you know. Like,
Wall-E, really? That's
Wall-E,
underrated.
Yeah.
I mean,
man, I love that movie.
I just watched that recently.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's like, you know, like for something that doesn't, for a main character that doesn't have any words to say, it's like the bit with him and Eva, and it's like Eva.
Yeah,
and it's like, been there. But yeah, sorry, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's that Wall-E is a good, I mean, it's a good example because like literally all of those films, even ones that like Wall-E's not as memorable as me, but like now I think about it, like it's. They're all such perfect films. I don't know about so much of the recent ones. I haven't really been watching them recently.
They've dodged their own formula now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've just been remaking everything, haven't they?
It's doing my head in. Yeah, I've watched a lot of those critical, some called the Critical Drinker and people like that. I think I mentioned them before, actually. Great movie critics, and they were always talking like, you know, how like contemporary, film is just kind of going down the tubes because everything's a bit copied. Everything's like already been done, and it's like, and then now it's all about political messaging, like things like that. Like, but you're an actor, like, so how's that affected you in any way? Actually, like, the sort of what's it called, the message, so to speak. Yeah.
I mean, I think like in terms of like originality, I feel like that's the main thing that I feel is just lacking in all kind of storytelling. I mean, obviously, there are people that are innovators, and there's always someone that starts the trend, right? But everything is a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Oh, I mean, it all goes back to like fairy tales now, doesn't it? In a way.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think like it's worse these days with like social media. Like everything. If you're not following the trend, then your stuff isn't really gonna pop. And it's really obviously magnified in film because film is at a much larger scale. There's much higher budgets, and so you're only really seeing like it's very commonly said, but like these superhero films, that's really what goes on. And hey, I would love to do a superhero film as an actor.
We want to fly around a bit, but like...
Do you know what I mean? That would be a dream come true. But like, it's not. I wouldn't say those are the go-to movies that I'll watch. Like if I go to the movies, which I feel like I actually don't go to the movies that much.
Since COVID, I don't think I've actually seen a film in the cinema. Oh no, I watched Oppenheimer once, but that was it.
That was the only two films I saw. Was Oppenheimer and and I saw the. Did you guys see the Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Which one?
Oh, that's like a couple of years ago. Yeah. But this year was there's one with Martin Scorsese. Oh, what was it called?
Is it one with the Native Americans?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of that.
I can't remember the name either, but it was such a good film.
Like,
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Killers of the Flower Moon.
I was thinking of a completely different movie.
That was for me. That was a masterclass in acting. Like all three, especially the Lily Phillips. I think. Right. I think that's the type of stuff that I want to see more of. Like actually, the stuff that is portraying real life, but there's obviously drama and the stakes are high, and it's like
relatable in a way.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I didn't even think about it. It's relatable. Like you can't really relate to Spider-Man. Like it's cool to watch. It's obviously a fun spectacle, but
I guess part of Spider-Man
it's entertainment, isn't it? Though, like those superhero films are just entertainment, and then there's like real
You want to kind of invest in the characters a little bit. I think the Spider-Man, the whole thing is that he's just a kid from Queens and now he's got superpowers and kind of grows into that. But there's that narrative arc of, struggling and learning his powers and then growing into the hero that he wants to become. And I think that a lot of the new Marvel, I think it's a bit of a cliche to say it now, but a lot of the new Marvels is like, they're fabulous because they're fabulous. And it's just like, they're like, oh, I woke up with superpowers and it's like, great. And now I'm kicking ass. Yep.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, but there's no victory. It's just like,
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, I mean, like it's a bit like let's talk a bit more about your sort of experience because actually you've got that film coming up we mentioned. Now I think it's called The Valley of Yellow Flowers in the UK.
I don't know what it's called. It's either
like
the Valley of Yellow Flowers, or the Collaborator.
Yeah,
so
the
essentially
in the US apparently.
Is that what they say?
According to IMDb, I checked it out. And it's like
you got more knowledge than I do about it.
You were in it?
I know. I was in it, but when I got the film, it was called The Collaborator, and then when we did it, they changed
the name of
the book. No, that's the name of the book, and then I think that it's got a few working titles because it's not come out yet, has it?
It's not come out yet. No, it's. I believe it's finished and it's due to come out at some point this year.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited to see the finished product of that. Like for me, that's my best work that I've done. Like not to be like arrogant or anyway. Like it's just
you got to be proud of what you do.
So,
but I think it's just like the culmination of like it's
before
been 8 years and it's like now I got a part which I can really sink into and it's like put everything that I've learned over my time being a professional actor and like I really put a lot into it. Like I really bled for that film and I'm looking forward to see it.
Can you tell us what the film's about?
Yeah, like let's give it a background.
Yeah. So basically, it's set in I believe 1970s or 1980s Kashmir, and there's obviously like a lot of conflict still now in Kashmir between India and Pakistan, and it's kind of set not so much around the conflict, more around, as I was kind of saying before, like the individual stories of these 4 young boys who are there in the middle of this thing and are thinking of, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah, like from a village, isn't it?
Yeah, from a village. Like they all have these dreams and ambitions and hopes of like what they want to do, and then obviously this whole conflict comes in and changes that, and it kind of follows like what does that do to a person?
Yeah.
And it was cool for me because like I got like my character. Originally, I went for the main character.
Cool.
I went for. Funnily enough, I went for all 4 of the main characters because they
shoot your shot, mate. I mean, you might as well shoot multiple. Like if you don't go high, you don't go. You don't get it.
Exactly, right.
I mean, at least your name was on their list every time. It's like, oh, this guy. Just give him a part, otherwise it won't go away.
Yeah, it was a long process, man. It was like 2 years or something.
2
like
years of auditioning.
Well, not really auditioning. It was like I got contacted like 2 years before the film, just that there was a film and they were interested in me. And I was like, okay,
yeah, fantastic.
Like, well, okay, but I also was like, that's nothing really. It doesn't. You don't really even believe it. And then it's like they kept messaging. I was like, okay, this is something, and then finally, like after a year, like they got funding and they were, ready to start casting. And I did a tape for all 4 characters, and then heard nothing for 6 months.
6 months.
Yes.
What the fuck are you going to do in 6 months? Like in 6 months, you can go get ideally you get a new job, and then but like I mean, you'd move on, wouldn't you? I mean,
I mean, I think in a way, like you can't. I suppose it would be for a lot of creative industries, but definitely for sure with acting, like you can't really treat it the same way that you would like normal employment. I think as soon as you start thinking that this is a sure thing, that I'm guaranteeing this for my income, then it's done.
You're gonna be screwed. Yeah, it's a bit
like
telling people about your plans.
There's also like a passion element for you, right? As well, like you want to do this as well. It's not just that I want the money and I want this job, but you want to actually do this role.
Absolutely.
You applied for all 4. I mean, he's definitely eager. Can't fault the man on enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great script, and like obviously I wanted to go for the main part because it's probably the most emotional. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't know if I could have done that main part. I definitely don't think I could have done it the way that Nikhil, who did play it, did it. And I don't know, that was Nikhil's first ever film.
Holy shit.
And he killed it in that.
Wow.
Like, and it was great to work with him. Like, because he gave a lot.
Nikhil who? Sorry.
Nikhil Singh Rai is the
Where's he
chap's
from?
name.
Is he from England? Was everyone from England?
So
it's like,
in this film,
it's set in Kashmir and which is like India, Pakistan, and like. So I mean, like got the synopsis here, but it's like I think just to summarize for everyone, it was it's about these kids, and then they get taken from the village, and all of them go off to war except for this one guy, presumably Nikhil's character. What's his name?
In the film,
yeah,
it's actually just called the boy. He doesn't have a name.
Oh, yeah,
he doesn't have a name. Yeah.
And so he's like there, and then what I think from the synopsis of the book, at least, I downloaded that, and it says that from there he's then suddenly recruited by the Indian army, even though the others went off to fight for Pakistan, and he's got to go through the field, through the Valley of Yellow Flowers, which is in Kashmir, and identify the bodies that are in there because after the battle. So like, what was it? Were you actually in Kashmir when you filmed, or was it?
No.
Where was it filmed?
It was filmed in Georgia.
In Georgia?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not Atlanta, Georgia, like not America, Georgia.
As in, like,
the country.
Why Georgia not?
I feel like there'd be very different places.
Yeah, it'd be quite easy to get across to. I mean, surely India would be almost cheaper anyway.
I think
on the whole,
there was troubles to actually film in.
I can actually imagine.
Probably a bit of a risky place to film as well.
I just asked a quick question. Kashmir goes across both borders, right?
It does, yeah.
That's where the tension is.
Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, I don't think it's. I mean, from what I understand, it's safe to go there because a lot of the team was there, like gathering like research and stuff. I think the issue was to actually film there.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to go to Kashmir.
Oh, yeah,
to like for research purposes. But funnily enough, even though like as I was saying, the whole process, like I was in the mix for 2 years. Like it was a month before filming when I actually got confirmed, and I was going for like 2 months. I had to.
So you were filming for 2 months out there? Or...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Honestly, really cool, really fun, really hard. You know, I won't lie. I actually had to come back in the middle because like I was finding it way too tough.
Really?
Like there was a week where I didn't have any scenes to do, and like originally my plan was like to stay and like do a bit of traveling, like go to some of the other places in Georgia because we were mainly staying. Like it's a really beautiful place. Like honestly, I would recommend anyone to go to Georgia. It's like
always a place you least expect, isn't it? It's like
right?
I was in Romania recently, and I would never have thought to go there before, but absolutely gorgeous place.
I can imagine. I think a lot of Eastern Europe is very like. People don't really think it's going to be that great, but it's beautiful, man.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Like it's and that was one thing I loved about Georgia. It was like, and when we first went, the first week was just in the mountains, and it was crazy because there was like barely any signals. It was almost like going back in time.
You like living in a tent, or
not quite? It was very different from when we were living in the city. I'll tell you that. And like, no one really speaks English in those villages.
Wow.
And there's only really like one store. Like there's no restaurants. Every night before we would film, we'd go to like a restaurant, which was really just like one of the locals' house. Yeah, literally. And it was like the same food every day, which I actually really liked it. Like
what kind of food did they eat?
It's like I don't know how you describe it, but
is it like quite hearty, or is it sort of like curry, or is it like
kind of a mix of both? So like I'll tell you, like the main dish is this thing called khachapuri, which is sort of like pizza. It's like a flatbread with cheese, but it's like Georgian cheese, so it's slightly more stronger. Like I don't know, you guys might not like it. Or... Salty, I think. Yeah. I loved it, but a lot of the other crew, I don't want to name and shame anyone, but a lot of them didn't like the Georgian food. Yeah. I think it's more like because we happen to have it every day, and like
it does get a bit boring after a little while, doesn't it, I guess?
Yeah, and to be honest, I was kind of bored of it. Like after having the same thing every day, like I was glad when we got on set, and then we had catering, which is like completely different stuff. That was really nice. But I love Georgian food, and like I've been craving it since.
Really?
Apparently there's a couple of Georgian restaurants like in London that I need to check out.
I know you like to cook, and it's like have you ever tried to recreate it at all?
I've never tried. I don't think.
You should give it a go.
I could try. I don't know.
Come on, you should.
I don't know.
There's got to be a recipe out there somewhere. Like
probably could, but
if you like kind of like look through Google and like sort of put it in Georgian first, like what it is, and then see what if you get yourself a good recipe in Georgian, then just translate.
That's
that
true.
again.
That's true. I asked one of my. I have many friends in Georgia, you know.
Oh.
You know.
Get them to send you their mum's recipes. Man.
Yeah, I got to do that.
One.
You're absolutely right.
That's the best one.
So back to your character, like, is it like a main role or like co-starring?
Yeah, it's a co-starring role, and it's the biggest role that I have ever done.
Okay.
You know, I've done quite a few films, always as like a very small character. You know, I guess the first film I did, which was a film called Sea of Tiny Lights, like it was fairly a big part. I was playing the younger version of the main character.
We watched the trailer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So that was like, and that was always my first experience. So it was like very new to me. And since then, yeah, to be honest, I won't lie to you. Like after that, it feels like everything I've done it's almost feels like, yeah, I've almost stepped. In a way, it's like, I couldn't compete with the first thing I did, you know, because everything I did after that has been very like minor parts, and that's very natural in acting careers. Like, unless you really like have a big break, like a Tom Holland, when you get Spider-Man, like you can be the lead and the co-lead and like the nothing the next day.
You
know,
get all those sort of like, you see those old movies and you see people who are like mega stars now, but before they were famous, and you're like, you know, I think Michael Fassbender, he was like a minor part in 300 or something, and then like 2 years later, he's like one of the he's the one who he's the one who chops the guy's arm off.
I don't remember the film.
Well,
I feel like there must have been a lot of people.
Yeah, but like
I don't remember that film.
He's in like Inglourious Basterds, and he's absolutely smashing out.
I love that film.
Love that film. I mean, his dialogue is absolutely on point. But like, how do you feel like, you know, like, so when you're in Georgia and you're filming and everything, and it's like, what was that process like? I mean, like, you know, was it sort of like, you know, you knew your lines and everyone's like playing off each other? What was the part of the story that resonated with you the most? Sorry, that's such a cliche, is it? Is that too cliche? I don't know.
I don't know.
What was the part of the story? What was the part of the experience that you loved the most, apart from the food, of course?
The part of the experience I loved the most was definitely the people.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what made it. You know, me and the other three castmates, the other three boys, they're called the Famous Four, and it's basically Nikhil's character, the boy, and his three friends. They're like a gang of kids, and it follows them. And yeah, we developed that bond of like, you know, the actual characters, and we lived together pretty much. Like we lived next to each other in the same room.
Like method acting. No, you know, it's just like my brothers, and there's you guys. Like, yeah, we know each other a month, but you know what? I like these.
I mean,
let me understand the premise of the film. So you all like, you start off as friends, and then you end up in separate armies, and then that's where you have a conflict with each other.
Not quite. I mean, the conflict really lies in the fact that one by one, each of the friends and pretty much everyone in this village is going across and joining the camps. And as you alluded to in the book, it pretty much entirely follows the boy being the last person there. I think the reason why they maybe called it the Valley of Yellow Flowers is because it's the first chapter. And
the book's by Mirza Waged.
Mirza Waged, yeah. And yeah, it's a really
true story, right?
It's a true story based on his life. Yeah, so he is the boy. So you know, we would say sometimes we call him Mirza, like when we're filming, because obviously it's a bit, when you're trying to actually be the character, it's kind of like, the boy.
Was he there? Was he there for the filming? And like, you know,
he wasn't there for the filming.
Or was it like sort of more like sort of like, you know, hands? Sorry, he wasn't there then.
No, I
was he involved in the script at all?
Yeah, he was involved. I believe in the beginning of the script, obviously, and I think obviously by the time, for most films, unless it's like a big writer, by the time it gets to the screen, or by the time it gets to on set, the writer of the book is generally not involved, because that's like quite further detached. Furthermore, you don't usually have the writer of the script.
Yeah, normally buy it off of the person, right? Normally.
Yeah, but from what I understand, Mirza was involved in the early drafts, and the way I would, because I read the book obviously, and like the way I would describe the film is it's actually, it's not even the entire book. It's more like it explores more the first part of the book. It
doesn't go into the part about him going and identifying the bodies yet.
It does,
right.
But that's.
So I thought that was kind of the point of dramatic tension, where it's like, you know, the Indians force him into the valley, and it's like, yeah, and he has to go around trying to look for his friends, kind of thing. Or
okay, maybe I actually misspoke. It's been a long time since I forgot. It does include that. But I guess what I'm saying is, in the book, the sort of preamble is a way minor part, right? Whereas in here, that's like
it's a big part. I mean, it's kind of like a world building exercise, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess in film that's quite different to sort of books, where it's like, you know, they didn't quite, you know, like you could just say in the valley of, like wherever, and then people just give it a quick Google, like, oh yeah, that place. Yeah. Go on. Sorry,
but that was actually funny enough. I think that's one reason why I'm not sure if it's called the Valley of Yellow Flowers, because I left 1 week before the last week of filming when it was literally just Nikhil. So this is the part basically that we're talking about where he's in the Valley of Yellow Flowers, and that was some method acting shit, because he was literally there on his own, and I felt so bad for him. And also that's
like the baddie wasn't there, does it not have a baddie?
It does, but for that week of filming, there was no one else. It was literally, so you have a call sheet usually every day, which gives you like all the cast, all the crew who's on today, and we were still getting the call sheets, and it was like just Nikhil on his own. Like,
everyone else was sitting there like, all right, fuck you then.
Yeah, because we'd all gone back to the UK and back to our lives, and he was just there, and they moved to a different mountains, and it was like super cold. Oof. And he was just there, like really living it on his own. Like he literally lost all his. Because remember, I told you we built this friendship.
Oh, he literally had lost friends.
And then we left.
Just comes home like.
So I don't know what was. I haven't seen that, right?
No,
but I'd imagine that's some incredible stuff. Being on that film, I feel like it was very interesting because there was the Georgian culture which we're actually living in, and it's like, okay, we're actually, and we learn Georgian. You kind of have to learn a little bit of Georgian, and I think I like to learn like a little bit of the language whenever I go to a place, right? I mean, you went to Malaysia, right? Did you learn?
Yeah, Bahasa, and I mean, the only Malaysian that I actually learned was Adam Chakabanya, which means Adams talks too much, because we did like these Malaysian lessons and stuff, and it was like and there was one kid who knew it fluently, and he was a teacher's favorite, and she was like Adam Chakabanya, it's all I could remember, and it was a while ago, but still, like talking like almost 20 years ago, but it was like, oh god, I'm old. I'm old. It was it's weird the bits that you still remember, but like
why do you think that's the one that you remember?
Oh, just because the context. I think it's because I think it's because it had like a bit more motion to it than the flashcards and stuff, and there were people interacting, and you could kind of like, I think if you use a language, like for example when I went to Romania recently, I didn't know anything going out there. I did a few Duolingos and that, and obviously my girlfriend taught me a few, but it was like being out there and actually having to use it in an environment in which people don't really speak English. Most of them do, but you still want to make the effort. Otherwise, as you say, it's just polite, really. And it's like,
exactly right.
It's like, and I think that when people are speaking your language, everyone will be. I think it's a very silly thing of us Brits. I think Americans as well, that we assume the world speaks English, but actually, if they're making an effort to speak your language, the least you can do is shut up and listen and not criticize, and just be like, try and understand and then try and speak some of theirs back. And I always taught my students that as well, was like, remember that you're the one making 90% of the effort, never apologize for being, for bad English. It's like, well, how's their Indonesian, how's their Malaysian, how's their whatever.
It's actually incredible the amount of countries you go to and they can speak English. I remember
you take it for granted.
I remember being in Belgium and this guy started speaking to me in French, and I'm like, English, and then he just switched to English, and I'm like,
wait, you just ordered it like English?
I mean, he panicked. He's just like, English. Just sit there.
But the way I said it, and I thought like, how dare I do that?
And then you feel all awkward. You're like, I'm ever so sorry. It's just that I'm actually ignorant, and But although my girlfriend, her parents don't speak any English, so we had a great time with Google Translate. It's so good. We're just passing the phone to each other. But we only realised we could do that on like day 3, and by then she was already teaching me like. But we just got on really, really well, because like obviously you got that communication through body language. It's quite obvious what people want, and like and you have a laugh together. But
do you speak a bit of Romanian now?
Very little. I think I know Ciobesc, which means I love you.
Well, that's an important one to know if you're dating a Romanian guy.
It means give me a kiss.
What was it?
Sarutma.
Sarutma.
I think I get that wrong every time, but like she'll correct me.
But this is something I've been thinking about a lot. As like English people, and I guess American people, and anyone who has English as a first language is kind of just dumber than most of the world, because if you think about it, that is like a different, I don't know the science, but it's some sort of different neural pathway they say that, in your head, right?
They say your personality changed when you switch languages. So I reckon I speak German, well, it's not that great anymore, but used to be fluent.
Quite well.
Yeah, I'll get by. You saw me because we were drunk. It's like when you're drunk, you can speak so much easier.
Other than night out, Other than night out with him, and he was speaking to these German people. I was just like,
and there's me just like going away.
Did you learn to speak German?
They ended up they were doing shots, and they kept buying me them because they was like, oh, I'm an English guy, and I was like, yeah. met their stag. I think I completely forgot about our stag do.
Germans speak really good English, by the way.
Oh, they do, yeah, they're absolutely on point. But the worst bit is, though, when you go over there, you try and speak German, they always turn around in perfect English. You're like, yeah, it's not the point. I'm here to learn your language.
Yeah, but I feel like that's everywhere you go.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I mean, sometimes some people. I remember I went to this corner shop in Portugal, and I was trying to speak it, and he could tell that I wasn't obviously perfect. And he was like, and then I just retreated to English. And then he was like, we can continue in Portuguese if you want. I was like, oh, thank you, man.
Oh, bless.
Because I think most people just don't have the patience, which is fair enough.
Yeah,
because, like, you know, you've
absolutely.
got
But I mean,
stuff to do.
I think it's that instinct to help people when you think they're struggling, but actually they're not. They're trying to learn, and it's like, you've got to just try and be patient with it. But yeah, I mean, like, as a teacher, I just found that like sometimes it is a bit frustrating when it's like you can see the time ticking down for the lesson, and you're like, come on, and by after about 20 seconds, you're like, just give me the answer. But no, I mean, most of my kids were geniuses, so yeah.
Is that because of you? You made them geniuses?
No, they're perfectly clever. I mean, they knew their shit. I mean, they had like 17 exams. Half of them were passing out in my classes. They were under so much pressure. It was unreal. And like, by the end of it, I was just like, all right, you can have a nap, you can have a nap, you can have a nap. The rest of you, though, like, didn't do no learning this week.
Yeah.
So here we go.
No naps was the punishment.
Oh, no. No, I used to use a tennis ball, actually, just throw it at them. And sometimes maybe
I see why you're not a teacher in this country.
Yeah, for real, right?
Oh, no.
That would not run.
Although, no, if they were asleep, it would be like, I'd just kind of sneak up behind them and just be like,
What's your punishment, Liz? I beat them. I got a stick I beat them with.
yeah, exactly. It's like, me with my javelin, like, fuck you. I said verb, go. No, but actually I used to use
Imagine him in an interview in this country. Like, how would you discipline a student that's not listening? I beat him with a stick.
It's like 4.
I feel like back in the day in England that was very normal.
That was very normal.
I remember. Do you not have Victorian Day?
Jesus, yeah, they'd just like go around caning everybody.
But in my school, I mean, you must have, because we went to school in the same area. Victorian Day, when the teachers would pretend to be Victorian.
Oh yeah, and the headmaster comes in, and is like, haha, I've got a cane. And
I got caned. Did you get caned?
Nope.
I feel like that's just an excuse to actually cane someone.
Wait, you had to put Victorian Day and he actually caned you?
Yeah, dude.
Come at you.
It was like one day the teachers could be really mean and they caned you for that.
Was it like a loophole in the law? Like?
I'm not even realising
Day
this.
was showing them authenticity. I'm injured. So, going back welts across your arm, like, what the fuck
Can you imagine that? He comes up to you. Remember that time you told me to fuck myself?
Come here, you lippy little shits. I mean, to be fair,
So you had the lift back. He goes down the lift. You remember that time you did this? How?
Just walking from classroom to classroom, slap.
Yeah.
But no, okay. So so what was it like? So let's move away from like the whole the film thing. So how was it kind of? Because you've done a few adverts, haven't you? Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Well, I guess the first advert I did was the Snickers advert, which your last guest was on.
Snickers
We had
advert.
Maya on here last week, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, Snickers advert." Did you get Jurgen Klopp as well, or who
Yeah, it was with Maya. With the
you was on it?
Yeah. So I was a minor character
Fucking
though.
cut. Sorry, where's Jurgen?
Yeah, I mean,
put him on the list.
if you watch that, you'll blink and you'll miss me. But that was the first ever commercial I did, and
Fucking Snickers, man.
yeah, man, Snickers.
Do you prefer them over Mars bars?
I do, of course.
They used to be my favourite back in the day.
Yeah. I still love a good Snickers.
Although I can't lie, I mean, I haven't had a deep fried Snickers, but
I've never
deep
had
fried
one.
Mars.
Deep fried Mars bar, I did try that.
I love that.
Where'd you get that from?
You gotta go Scotland.
You gotta go.
you gotta go
There's this little shop that's just underneath.
It's a long way. It's a long way to travel.
It's worth it, I feel.
Miles to get one. Yeah, I just felt like I need to burn the calories before and after.
What am I doing this weekend?
Oh shit, yeah. But you go to Scotland this weekend?
No.
Oh.
For Mars bar.
You can get them down the road, mate. But you don't have a deep fryer.
Yeah, that's true. You can actually. I could make.
Just go to the chip shop.
We could make them
Mars
now.
bar, I'll be like, go on.
Do you have Mars bars?
No.
Okay, well then we can't make them right now.
Can't make them right now, but another time.
But when we when we all go back to our respective houses, we can all buy our respective Mars
Everyone's
bars.
just sending each other little Instagrams like, this has not worked, and now we have to do a lot of cleaning.
Yeah.
I burnt my kitchen down.
So my mum is furious. Actually, I don't live with my mum anymore. I can burn my own kitchen down, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. You're an independent man now.
Yeah, I've got my own flat. I can burn my place to the ground if I need to. I can't because it's against...
I can't. My wife will kill me.
Yeah. I think my girlfriend would probably have a few things to say about it as well, actually. In fact, I'd probably be a bit upset. Although, yeah.
I feel like you would be pretty upset. Would it be worth it for the deep fried Mars bar?
No, I've got to
How about you do it in your house?
Because I like my houseplants. What have I just been saying, Marlon? Jesus. People, leave the houseplants out of this. Okay, all right. Sorry, all right. So yeah, deep fried Mars bars. That's the thing.
Deep fried Mars bars.
Nice on the list.
How did we even get to deep fried Mars bars? by the
Off
way?
point.
Snickers.
Off
Yeah,
point.
off point is the whole point.
I love that.
Damn it. But
Nice.
Came here to talk about your acting career, and now we're talking about deep fried Mars bars.
For me, these are the best types of conversations where everything goes on point. You know.
even though I've got a list. But like, yeah, so like, I mean, like, so what was it like to come from? Sorry, going back to the point, yeah. But what was it like to go from being in front of the camera to behind it? Because I've only done some production work, and you're starting your own media company, and like, you know, like, how's that going?
Yeah, so I did my first producing gig like 2-3 years ago. I think 2021, just after lockdown. I don't even know. But it was my friend from a few years, Liam Pinero Rogers, who directed the film, and I'd met him a bunch of times in networking events, like back in the day.
Name drop.
Just when I would go to, just when I was good as an actor, right? And he never actually hired me in any of his films as a director. He now tells me that famously I was shortlisted for one of his films, but it never happened.
Yeah, but they always tell that. I mean, do you
Yeah, I
believe
think-
him or not?
I know, I'm inclined to believe him.
Yeah,
I'm
you should. I
inclined to
mean, it
believe
makes
him.
you feel better.
I mean, I owe this man my entire producing career, ultimately, you know. And I helped produce another one of his films afterwards. So realistically, it was just a very lucky situation, I guess. And no, I don't think it's luck. I think it's,
Yeah, I get that because of your own merit. I mean, like,
I don't know, not merit though. I wouldn't say it was anything to do with merit in this case. I think what this is, which is an interesting thing. He didn't know if I could do anything as a producer. He only knows me as an actor, but he knows me, and I guess he trusted in me. And I didn't know
that's what you
anything
need,
about
though, isn't it?
producing.
Someone to
that.
trust you to do your job, and then you go in there and you do your best for them because you know that their faith is in you, so you do like what you can.
So I kind of jump in quickly. So you seem
I think
you seem to be wearing a lot of hats. What do you class yourself as now? You're a producer, actor,
He's been reading the list.
I class myself as now. I don't know.
just everything.
Just I don't know. I'm just I don't.
Yeah, I hate that word now. I'm a creator.
You work in finance. You're creative. You're acting, cooking.
I feel like that's living, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a cook. I feel like that's
so
what
you're
I
a chef
do.
now.
You know, no, but in the sense of you know, cook. Let's cook. You know, with like the kids say. That's it. Like that's what I do. I cook. And what do I mean by cooking? Is just experimenting. Really, you know, trying things.
with what? Like
Everything.
You have your own cooking show.
I'm not specifically talking about cooking, but
Oh, cooking. I get what you mean.
yeah,
had his own
more
cooking.
metaphorically. But
he had a run with Keto Marlon or what?
Keto Marlon.
I've got a cooking channel. As well.
You have a cooking channel?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I've got a cooking website channel.
Wait, what?
I've got merchandise. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
out
but
there.
we loved it because at first it's like I'm Marlon and this is keto cheese. First tip cheese.
Well, keto. I mean, cheese is always keto.
Now you have keto cheese.
That's true. So are you on keto?
Perfect.
I was.
Perfect.
I was also. Why? What made you stop?
So I did it for 2 years, and then like, no, I did it for 2 years, and then obviously lockdown hit, and then I was just like, you know, like life gets you, and you're like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get a bit. Sometimes you get depressed, you need food,
He
for comfort, and
committed
everything.
carbicide.
Yeah. So I lost a lot of weight when I first did it.
Really?
Yeah. I was like really toned, really everything.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah,
You're still in good shape.
off and on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. I'm not training that much anymore, so.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because I'm the type of person when I train hard, so I'll be like 5 times a week in the gym.
But do you find it easy to get like constant motivation to work out?
No, so what I do things like I suggest this to anybody that's trying to lose weight, trying to get healthy. Give yourself a target. That's what I did. I gave myself a target. So
Yeah, you told me to do that.
so last year,
run a marathon. I was like,
yeah,
put that
last
on
year I
my
signed
list.
up. Last year I signed up to half marathon.
Oh
So
no.
so for 4 months I had to train. I had no choice but to train.
Yeah.
So to put like that,
I'd have just gone for it. At the end
if
of
you're
it,
looking for
just eased my
motivation,
way across the line.
if you're looking for motivation, you can create that for yourself. So that's why I put a big target above me. I was like, the most I ever ran was 10K, which is about what,
Still pretty impressive.
6
6.5
miles?
More than I can.
Yeah, but for the marathon,
barely
you have to
run
run,
for a
for the
bus.
marathon, you have to run 13 miles. So that's over double what I can.
24.
No, that's,
24 miles to
that's
marathon.
a full marathon.
Oh, sorry, half marathon.
26,
beg pardon,
yeah.
Sorry,
And 26 miles is a full marathon.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, half marathon. I'm like, I've never come anywhere close to that. So I had to train non-stop for about 4 months. Swimming, running every day. I couldn't take a day. I couldn't go like I want to take a day off, even though I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I know I got this big target above me. If I don't train, I won't complete this target.
And you did it, right?
Yeah, I did it. And it's interesting. I've seen people in the race that I could tell didn't train because that's the way they run.
Yeah, they were at the back.
Yeah?
They were at the back complaining about their feet.
Well, no, they were not actually people who
Limping.
No, people who don't train actually at the front because they're sprinting. They don't know how to pace themselves. You understand? Because they haven't trained.
Yeah.
They're just running. They're running, and then they hit the wall, and then on the ground. You get to a point you see them laying on the ground.
I mean, it's brave to push yourself to the point where you're absolutely incapacitated.
You're gonna get to if you haven't trained for this, you're gonna get to a point where you can't go anymore, and you're gonna be on the ground passed out.
Yeah, because the lactic acid, the build up is like your body's not used to it, is it?
People that train are maybe a bit slow, unless you're like a super athlete, like competing in a major competition, and there's some people that are that.
It's like the old days.
You can tell by looking at certain people that they're not that, and they're running way too fast. They're gonna burn out.
Do you think like having that goal helped you have the discipline every day to train?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Like I think
I always forget about mine. I mean, I've got ADHD. I'm like after
I
2
know.
weeks, I'm like, all right.
I know. Also,
wait, forget about your half marathon that you have.
No, I mean, I don't forget the date, but yeah, time is a bit weird for us. It's like you're like 3 weeks in front of you,
Right.
And like, and the past is just referred to as the other day, and because it's all relevant and it's all live, it's a bit like having like it's a bit like living within a 5-week block. It's why it's a struggle to book things ahead, like flights and that. I wouldn't usually book them myself.
if you haven't worked out already, it was me that contacted you to book this. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Say again.
He's got much better. He's better at organising.
Oh, right.
I'm more like the pretty boy in the middle. I get to write stuff like questions. Yeah, I contributed.
So would you say you guys watch Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
So would you say you're more Joe Rogan and you're more Jamie?
Who's Jamie? Oh, Jamie's the
But like the guy, the producer, yeah. Because you said you do the questions. The other way around. You're Joe Rogan and you're Jamie.
Yeah, he's the one who's like he does all like the techie stuff and like
I guess
But I mean I live miles away, so I have to come to his flat. So
right. But it's his. I guess that would be like the Jamie role. It would be his studio. And obviously Joe Rogan owns it. Do you own this? Does he rent it?
I asked him for all the passwords the other day because he's like, why don't you try writing on our Facebook occasionally? I was like, give me the passwords. Like, he's left the entire spreadsheet blank. I'm like,
what it is though? Because I've been doing it for so long. It's hard to just give it over to somebody.
You suggested that I write more.
Yeah, but I like certain things. I'm like. I don't want you to do it. I don't want you to control.
I was like, what's the password?
But is it because you don't trust him?
I don't
Slightly.
I don't want to do Instagram.
What the fuck? I mean, to be fair,
Facebook, I don't care about. You can do Facebook.
Well, yeah, because no one's.
It's because exactly. No one cares.
Like my mum just liking everyone that we put up. It's like like today we interviewed Les about his parents. Oh, dislike.
But see, do you guys put any effort into the Facebook, or is it very much afterthought?
The afterthought, to be honest.
Like, is it just because it already uploads from Instagram?
Yeah.
Like,
it's more like Twitter as well as an afterthought. I do TikTok, I do YouTube, I do Instagram first.
Yeah, because it's more about like visuals. It's more about like of course.
But like Facebook, I'm like, maybe I should throw something up there.
Yeah,
I'd throw it up all in one go.
I don't think anyone that we would aim for. Well, I mean, not to discriminate against anyone in our audience, but like. Generally speaking, no one's like, oh, what's your Facebook? And they're more like, what's your Instagram? What's your TikTok?
The weird thing though, I'm old school. I like Facebook better. All of them. Really?
I used to. I was one of the last. I think you're the last of the Mohicans with Facebook because I was a diehard Facebook guy.
Like same. But like about 5 years ago, I realized it was just like it was constantly just coming up with these little notifications.
It's crap now. Don't get me wrong.
And I was like, yes, someone in your area said something.
I don't like Instagram. I like TikTok. I love TikTok. I'm on TikTok.
I haven't.
I can't.
I'm too scared.
Yeah, same.
It's coming.
I just know I'm going to spend all day on it. Like,
but Instagram, I don't like I don't like all of them. It's just because it's like
adverts.
Not that I just like. Oh, if I see a video, I want to share it. Instagram, you can't really do that. No, you have to actually upload the video itself. No, you have to upload them and do this repost weird thing. I like to, like Facebook, you can just hit share. Yeah. It's up there.
Yeah,
it was better for me.
Oh right, I didn't know that because I think you can share stuff.
You can, but it's a bit
I share videos all the 20 times a day.
No, like stuff you found online.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like if you find something on YouTube?
Yeah. That's what
you want to put it in Instagram.
Yeah, because they've got copyright issues in that, haven't they? Although Facebook doesn't seem to be.
If I see a video on YouTube, for example, I can just share on Facebook easily. But like with Instagram, you have to do some weird stuff to get it up there.
I didn't know that.
I mean, unless I'm old and I don't realize that there's an easy, I could just do it an easy way.
We're gonna get so many fucking comments.
Yeah.
Oh, please be nice. He doesn't mean it.
I'm in my 30s.
He's in our 30s.
I'm not young anymore.
We're on that point where it's like we're about 5 years away from asking young people how to use a PDF. Like, so going back to sort of what we were saying before about cooking. So do you mean literally? You don't mean literally cooking?
I also mean literally cooking, but that's not the. I wouldn't say like that's what I do.
No.
Also, I feel like I'm regretting saying this because it sounds like such a pretentious answer. I don't know what I do. I just
a lot of things, and you're working in film.
I mean, look. Ultimately, my primary profession remains an actor. That's what I.
Oh, yeah, so you got a lot of side hustles.
I wouldn't even say side. It's just like I kind of going back to what I was saying in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
I've always been very curious and very interested in a wide range of things. And I guess the way it will manifest for me is I'll have seasons of obsession.
Yeah.
And I guess, most people do, right?
Yeah, it's good though. I mean, it's a really healthy way of looking at life, I think.
Yeah. And that's kind of how, the way I kind of want my life to be set up. And I think that's living life to the fullest, And in many ways, why would you not try to do as many things as you can do? And that kind of sounds like ridiculous in a way, but ultimately, you're never going to do everything, but I have many things that I want to do, and sometimes it will just be random things that will pop up, and then I'll be super interested in it. Like at the moment, my main obsession is fighting and martial arts. And that's like, yeah, that's a very random thing. Like I didn't expect a year ago that this would be such a big obsession of mine, and that's kind of always how my life has played out. And I would say, ultimately, why my main profession, like what I do, is an actor, is because that's where that can play out, right? Like I could be playing a lawyer, I could be playing a politician, I could be playing Spider-Man maybe one day, hopefully,
yeah.
I mean, not hopefully. Let's be real, that's not happening. Spider-Man, I'm too old for Spider-Man now. I think.
Wait, how old are you?
Younger than you.
Media training. Media training.
Like, just saying number.
But I'm not.
It's like dealing with my auntie.
But
media training.
Like, yeah, it's like maybe I'm 24.
I mean,
you can just check his date of birth.
You can check my date of birth.
I assume like obviously you have your profile and you play a certain.
I mean, look,
you play a certain age range. And you don't want to be like.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Yeah, let me not be so shady.
No, I've read your profile and I've seen what you are and stuff, what you put down in terms of.
Lindsay Lohan said that she could play a 20-year-old when she was like 40. And to be fair, she did.
Exactly. And like,
so obviously, if he comes on his podcast and you air it and he said he's 62, and he's like,
because I could be 62.
Yeah. Well, then that changes the entire line of questioning. So I'm going to be talking about, like what aging creams he's using. So my mum will want to know. Like that would absolutely boost our engagement no end. All right.
And then you probably get a good brand deal,
Yeah, exactly. Just sitting there, it's like actually what I do is something really gross, and it's like oh okay, well we won't be anyway. Right, what am I talking about? No, but go on. Okay, so you were saying about sort of like the reason you like acting is because it gives you the opportunity to be everything, and I think that's absolutely a beautiful way of putting it actually. So like moving so then you've done the production side of things. Which one do you prefer, acting or production?
Definitely acting.
Yeah.
I think you have to, before you continue, how you got into acting.
I feel like I always did acting from as long as I can remember. I think I was very, very lucky that my mum was super supportive of that, which is not the case for many of my friends. And like she was just she saw like I guess the talent or whatever way before I did.
Like the way you think in that as well.
Did you do go to acting school, drama? How did you get into it?
Just like I think from as young as I remember, like 3 years old, I was going to like theatre classes, and my mum would always take me into London to watch theatre shows and do workshops and stuff.
You're from Red Hill, aren't you?
From Red Hill, same as you. Honestly, that is crazy.
So weird. So weird. I live opposite the. Actually, wait, no, let's not give away my location.
Don't dox yourself.
We were born in the same hospital.
We were born in the same hospital. That's crazy.
Bizarre. Only 7 years apart, right?
So did you do things like Young Vic?
Say again.
Did you do things like Young Vic?
Not really. So my story really is that I was always doing acting. I did it at school. Ultimately, it was a thing I was best at.
Yeah.
Like, it was a thing I would get like
exactly.
an A, whereas other things I would not. Like, I was terrible at science. and I think they didn't even.
I don't have a science GCSE, so I can't even.
Really?
No.
I didn't
go
need to
in.
do
I got a C in category, and it was the lowest one I got, and I was absolutely devastated. But still took
Yeah,
grade levels.
they didn't even let me do science.
I didn't-
They didn't
bad.
let you do science.
Basically,
Yeah.
That's fucking retarded.
Right.
Why did they not let you do something? Like, I mean, there's teachers who
They let me
whose
do it, but
time
I
are you
didn't.
wasting?
I didn't do the coursework, so I just thought, what's the point?
Oh yeah, because like coursework and
So wait, so you just didn't do it?
I just didn't turn up.
well, you deserve it. But I mean,
I didn't turn up for half of
the opportunity.
I didn't turn up. I didn't turn up for half of my GCSEs.
What?
Yeah, I didn't turn up for half of them.
Why?
Yeah, why?
I was a bad student.
Oh, you're.
I was really bad.
I wouldn't have thought that.
You get a point for writing your name, mate.
Yeah,
Right.
but for anybody listening, I had to redo it in college, so I paid
Yeah, no
for it.
shit. Like, what a waste of time. Never mind. No,
I
don't
wasted
judge
I
it.
wasted 2 years.
You have a degree now. You have a degree now, and that's what
Yeah, that's the
matters.
main thing, and no one really cares about
I mean,
GCSEs.
honestly, like, oh, they do on UCAS. Jesus Christ.
I like to talk about it because like a lot of people feel like, oh, if I don't get it when I'm in school,
Yeah, but you still take
I
the
want.
exam.
Yeah, but I mean, like some people, like if I failed in school, then that's it. But like, no,
Well, no,
you can
not
go
at
back.
all.
You can go back and retake things. And,
I mean, there's always that whole thing of like, you know, famous millionaires and that, and they're always like, you know, oh yeah, I, you know, dropped out of college. Yeah, you dropped out, but I mean, you know, bear in mind.
No, but to be fair though, if I could go back and I had like a dream or a passion where I could be like,
it was music.
it was at one point, but yeah,
Well, that's what you did at Keele.
I didn't do music. Oops, that was our other friend. I did film in Kiel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I did like you are right. I was into music after Kiel.
Yeah.
Kiel was our university.
He was a rapper.
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
That's why I have these
Not a
microphones.
good one.
Okay.
So these microphones was originally bought for rapping.
Was it?
Yeah.
So did you do much rapping with these microphones?
Yeah, a lot.
Do you do much now?
Especially these two, those two.
I have the best one apparently.
Yeah, especially those two.
Yeah.
So how long after the you started? Do you still rap?
No,
What happened? Why did you retire?
You got to work.
I feel like I got old. I feel like it's a young man's sport.
Jay-Z's like 60.
Yeah.
No, but he's got to places, right? I was like 28 at the time. I was like,
That's not your fault. No one tried to shoot you.
yeah. My point,
shoot,
my
you need
point,
something to talk
my
about.
point is, I was doing it for a few years. And
Yeah.
I got nowhere with it, and I was just like, this is a young man's sport. Let the young people do it.
Fair.
And me go on to other things.
You were in your early 20s.
No, I was in my late 20s.
Okay, never mind.
By the time I dropped it.
Yep. You
I
know,
was
at that
like-
point, you got to start calling yourself
Yeah,
grandpa
so I'm like,
or something. Or, you know, like,
If it was like I guess like people like French Montana made it in their 30s.
I mean, you could call yourself Mr. Marlon.
Yeah.
I mean, that gives you an air of authority.
No, but I mean, if I was making progress to a point, I'd be like, okay, I can keep going into my 30s. But if you made no progression and you're late 20s, sort of like,
Yeah, it's time to something like,
do
like,
something
sometimes you got
else.
to like,
I think that's.
It's like when to give up, I guess. but-
I think as things change as well. Like there was that SoundCloud that was for independent artists, and then people used to post and everything, and then SoundCloud tried to be like Spotify, and then in the end, didn't really work out for them.
Yeah.
But in the end, they sort of shitted on independent artists.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, SoundCloud.
Why do you think that?
Because they're hemorrhaging money. They won't make any profit. It was a good concept, but they get sued a lot. They don't make a lot.
Why do they
Money.
get sued?
A lot of the streaming platforms don't make a lot of money in the first place. A lot of them hemorrhaging.
I mean, like they don't. That's why probably why they don't give out that much money. But,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on, that's why they adopted the subscription model because that way everyone's paying. If you know you've
That's
got like
still-
£11 coming in from everyone every month,
Yeah.
like you know, and then you got the advertising budget
Yeah.
from the rest of it. So I guess it does kind of even out.
Yeah, a lot of streaming platforms do hemorrhage a lot of money. They don't make a lot.
Well, same with news actually now because like now it's all gone online. Like
It's a good
Google
idea,
sucks up
but in terms of like, that's why Netflix is increasing their subscription. That's why they're thinking about introducing adverts and stuff like that because they're not.
I think they
They're
already have
hemorrhaging money.
Like I think they're giving it as a sort of like subscription package that's a bit like lower, but
Yeah.
you still have to deal with adverts. But I mean, Channel 4's been doing that for years, and they even have it on 4OD. Anyway, like we're getting off topic.
But my point
That's
is
the
like,
that's
that's my point.
What's the podcast?
Yeah. But my point is like, I had that as a dream, but then I feel like, man, let me pivot into other things.
Yeah, I honestly think that's kind of an underrated thing to do. I think there is a lot of emphasis on like you have to, follow your dreams. I'm not saying that you shouldn't follow your dreams. I definitely think you should, but I think that kind of goes back to what I'm saying about, I guess, almost having these multiple interests. Like most of the time I'm not acting. Like it's what I do as a job.
Yeah.
Me ask you a
It's
question:
gone.
would you ever get to a point, say you haven't acted for multiple years, where you go, maybe acting
just got a movie coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, I know it
Next
does.
week.
But I'm
So,
like,
see, time. fucked. Sorry, go on.
But my point is, like, if you was to get to a point where you haven't acted for multiple years, you think you ever get to the point where you go, maybe this is not for me, maybe I should do something else, cooking or something random?
I don't know.
Or is it something you always gonna do?
I don't know.
That's the question.
I honestly have no idea because, like, maybe I might just want to retire for a bit. Like, I think, to be honest, I think that
Retired
would be
at the age of 21.
Like, for example, I couldn't imagine myself getting on the mic and start rapping again. I couldn't imagine myself doing
I
that.
don't know. I think you're the voice for it. You're big enough. I wouldn't tell you shit. You're like 6'6". You kick my ass. Look at your arms. Look at them. This is ridiculous. I picked up and put down a heavy thing yesterday. Look at this. It's like a little leg. I think you've actually got bigger arms than I have legs.
Probably.
I skip leg day. I skip leg. I'm
yeah,
a swimmer.
you
I've got a
do.
swimmer's
I'm
body.
sorry.
I've got a
You do
swimmer's
have.
body.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my girlfriend takes the piss.
That's just random.
You have teeny tiny chicken legs.
But I think legs are hard to grow, man. You can't knock yourself down. It's hard to grow your legs.
It's just like you either have them or you don't, and unfortunately I don't. But she has great ones, so I'm fine.
That's what
At some
matters,
point,
right?
it's going to steal hers.
Actually,
when they came out like really weirdly creepy, it's like and next time on Netflix, Les stole his girl. Yeah, this guy stole his girlfriend's legs. There's me like, yes, but I'm flying. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so what was trying to get at? So we've done the whole thing with the acting. You did some work out in LA. Was that acting related?
No, I didn't do any workout in LA.
Right, what were you doing?
I was studying in LA, and
What were you studying?
I was doing an acting class. And actually, this was probably a point where I definitely thought, should I quit acting? This was like a few, so
Why, were they that bad?
2019. No, this was before that. So I'm butchering the telling of this story. Let me start again.
Yeah, go on.
Basically, in I guess September of 2019, my agent dropped me
What? Why?
because I wasn't pulling in enough money.
But you've got cool hair.
I didn't have the cool hair back then. This hair actually.
That only took you 3 years to grow. Sorry, it's 5 years. Jesus Christ, time has moved.
No, well,
fair?
4 years. It's since lockdown.
4 years to get a fro.
Was there like a motivation behind getting the hair? Was there a story behind it?
There's no motivation. There was just. It was the lockdown happened and people stopped cutting people's hair and
He kept his lockdown hair.
kept it and people started to like it and
I grew up properly
started to get
as well,
some more attention from girls from it and I was like,
oh, I want to ask about that one as well. Actually,
this is and I also then started making a lot of money from it. Oh, not a lot, but like I started booking work like because of this hair.
That's look.
Yeah, I mean that's really why I've been doing a lot of commercials recently. Is because I guess it's a commercial
Stands
look.
out.
You know, yeah, and I guess that's been the thing I've been struggling with because it does hinder me for dramatic roles. Like that was the first
You
film
can
I was
tie your
talking
hair up though, can't you? So it looks
So
a bit
for that
more
film-
I
like.
can, and you can, and you,
Like,
and obviously
what kind of roles would they kind of cast you for with the hair like that then? Not to sort of denigrate it,
know.
like yeah.
I don't know.
For that
you know?
film, for that film you just did you have to cut your hair for it?
This is the thing, right? Like for that film, I was expecting to have to get it cut, and I was kind of
Sad about it.
well, no, glad about it.
Really?
Because the thing is, I
cool,
can't.
though. It's like my brothers used to
I
do.
like it.
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to cut it myself.
I wouldn't.
You know, but for someone else does it. It's like I'm almost free of the hair.
If someone's ordered you to do make a change, it's a bit like
Yeah, and to be honest, this is a few times.
I had to shave my lockdown beard, and I tell you what, I brought it down to about 6, like just about 2 millimeters. And I was like,
But bears are in
it took me 3 days to get over it, man. Like,
Really?
I'm just going around like, I look like an acorn. I was so sad.
But
I
you still had
couldn't.
it at 6. I mean,
Well, I had it
hair,
sort of a little
6
bit
is
short,
long.
about half of this. Like, so I'd probably say about a little bit longer than Marlon's. Yeah. But like, it was a proper big biker beard, like, lockdown beard. And then it was like, and you're like, I'm ugly. I couldn't speak for an hour. I couldn't look in the mirror for 2 days.
Yeah.
I had my ex-girlfriend, she was like, you look handsome. It's okay. It looks better. And then her mate was like, I was like, you look, you lying bitch. I was like, I said, I'm leaving everybody. Hide under a rock until it grows back.
Till it grows back. Yeah.
And even, it does need a trim now, actually. Anyway, look, enough about facial hair and hair. Sorry, Marlon, you were saying?
Was I saying something?
No? Okay.
But bringing it back to hair.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I always liked my hair.
I'm talking about hair on this show.
I know.
Is that a thing for you?
It's weird. It's like we do.
You did talk about it on the Maya episode, didn't you?
Yeah.
He's balding and I'm bald, so that's why.
Oh,
we
okay.
just want what we can't have.
Yeah.
You guys, I can give you some.
Sort of touch it.
Yeah,
Can I
go
touch
on.
it?
You can.
It's like a sheep. Sorry, I'm joking. All right, did that come out racist? I don't know.
I don't know if that could be
probably not
construed
racist.
as
but, like,
racist.
it's really cool.
I think that's a
We'll
far
let
fetched.
the viewers decide.
Yeah, viewers decide.
I like it.
Is this
It's fun
racist?
to touch.
But
But that sounded
No, but
even weirder.
to be fair, though, you did give permission.
Yeah, I don't usually.
think- yeah,
so you should feel honored.
I do. I mean, I
Usually,
that's why I asked.
if,
And I was
if you did it without permission, then I'll be like, that's a bit of a
And if
you
you
should
just
have
did it on the
actually
street,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
no, that would be really weird. Do people
people
actually
do that. People do that. People just will come up to me and
It's
just like start
licking
rapping.
popcorn
It's
in a
like,
cinema. Someone just reaching
You
over
ever swung
and
a punch?
bite. Like,
huh?
It was swung a punch because it's like, wow.
I've wanted to.
what kind of people tend to do it? Is it just random people just going?
Obviously, a lot of drunk people.
Oh
like,
yeah. I mean, I guess if you're drunk, you kind of. I mean.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna. I mean, to be fair, they're drunk. I mean, hell, I've had a few.
I
I'm just like,
I remember I used to go out. I was always used to wear a hat when I'm out.
to stop people from touching it.
No, people used to, I was always wear a hat.
Tell them the future.
People used to take my hat off my head.
Right.
Why? Oh yeah,
Just to put it
uni,
on.
man. That was a what?
And after that, elbow people in the face sometimes. Just,
What?
yeah.
You shouldn't admit to that on live. On,
No, probably, I didn't do
recording.
that. I didn't,
Like, yeah,
I didn't do that. I didn't elbow anybody in the face.
He has never elbowed anyone
Interesting.
in the face. And if you want to sue Marlon, the number is. But yeah, go on. So people touching your hair in the street. That's weird.
Yeah.
Like,
it's-
Happens, though,
I didn't think it would happen these days. Like, I think that was kind of a thing that was happening like 10 years ago. But like,
Is that, that's a thing that would die
It's
out?
kind of been established that people are like,
Oh, right,
like,
yeah,
because of the whole COVID, the lockdown, everyone's
Yeah,
like,
COVID, right?
everyone's social distance, motherfucker. This is social distancing hat. And it's
So
like,
what is your reaction when people do that then?
I mean,
It depends how hot they are, presumably.
Yeah, for the hot girl.
Hot girls like, yeah. I love when people run their fingers through my hair. I'm like, I
I
don't
mean,
know
I
what you're
don't know.
complaining about, to be honest with you, mate. At least you got her.
Yeah, exactly. I won't lie. I don't usually get too angry.
Well,
but it's
yeah.
just like
it's a weird
something.
thing to get like super angry about. But yeah,
It's more. I mean, if I'm in a bad mood like already, and then someone is just, I'm
It's
obviously
just, yeah, it'll tip you.
yeah, but
I know that is because obviously for anybody listening, I'm 6'6", so people always come up to me like, "Oh, you're tall."
Right.
If I'm in a bad mood, I
I
might be
literally
like,
describe him as a 6'6".
yeah. I
Or
mean,
sometimes people come up to me and be like, "Let me measure myself up against you." And I'm like, I don't like people getting that close to me in the first
That's a
place.
bit weird, yeah. Like,
But
I mean, like,
I-
everyone
I-
stands up a little bit taller when they stand
I-
next to him. It's quite cute.
The thing is that I accept it. I'm like, fair enough. You can do whatever. I'm like, yeah.
Except
do
for
it.
his wife. His wife is just like down here.
Yeah.
As I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is like, if I'm in a bad mood and somebody does that, I might not react the same way. I'll be like,
exactly.
yeah.
I think, to be honest, that's something that I guess experiencing things like that myself, kind of recently, just being in a bad mood and then people saying, like, coming up to me and, I'll be upset about that. Like, obviously, I'm a trained actor, so I'm not going to show it, but like, it
Wait,
will
does acting
perturb me.
help you with like sort of how you express your emotions in general?
Say again.
Does acting help you actually with how you express your emotions in general?
100%.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would say so. I
Is
feel
it like you can control like the real emotions and you just kind of put on a brave face? But I guess it's a bit of acting that everyone does. But is it like help you? Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I think Marlon Brando famously used to say like everyone's acting because we do. We're always
I can't
putting
stand
on
that. Like corporate environments, man. Everyone's pretending to be happy. And
Yeah.
like, guys, you're all idiots. Like, why the fuck would you pretend that this is okay if no one else thinks it's okay in reality, and we're all in this level of pretending that everything's fine and it's not? Why don't we just do the job that we need the way that we're supposed to? And they're like, oh, that's revolutionary. And it's like, oh. 6 months later, HR meeting. You have an opinion? Tell us about it.
Really?
No, I've had worse. I once got told off for what was it? The people I work with these three women, and I got told that it was wrong of me and sexist of me to call the girls who I worked with, who I completely respect, absolutely loved, the girls. They referred to themselves as the girls. I was like, the girls, because they were both younger women than I was. They were like in the mid-20s. And I was like, like the girls, i.e. my girls, like people who I work with, my little T, that kind of thing. I was their manager as well. And apparently it's like, they're not girls, they're women. And I'm like, no shit. Like, obviously. It's like, no, because I thought they were still at school. Come on. It's just like, there's a line between, like, anyway, I could go all day about that one. But
I'll
there is
say
that line.
I'll say that, like, I did this in, like, uni as well. Like, pretty much everybody puts on a performance in some way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they say, like...
you want to put forward your best self.
That's why they say, like, I can't remember, I think I did about identities in university. And basically it was about, like, when you first start at uni, you have people suddenly change their hair colour, wear bright clothes and stuff like that because they're trying to stand out. So we're all putting on a performance. And I don't. With my job as well, I know I put on performance. Like, I'm not a professional. You can trust me and everything. But yeah,
you can't trust.
You
cannot trust him. Look at me, students. You cannot trust him.
But we all put on performance of how we want people to see you.
I just have fun
every day. I think.
I think so, and like I would say that's probably one of my big like missions in life is to cut out all that fakeness.
That must be weird.
You know?
Like, how do you like imagine doing that? Like, you know, like not even that fakeness, because I don't think you're a very fake person from having chatted to you. Apart from the media safe answers.
Although you are an actor, so you're always
with
putting on a performance. I mean, like that's your job.
I mean, it depends what you really define as.
Because at what point are you acting and which point are you not?
Right, and I feel like that's kind of like the
Am I acting as an actor? Welcome to that existential crisis.
Have you ever done like method acting where you like pretend to be the character before?
I feel like
go full Christian Bale.
Well, I mean, there's obviously levels to that of what you can actually do, because you always. So yeah, I've always tried to do that, especially for bigger roles or more interesting roles. I think the one that I remember definitely doing it like as much as I probably had was a very, very small film. It was a short student film. It was a friend of mine that I went to school with actually and went to uni with. I'd left at that point and he was doing a short film. He actually didn't want me for this part because it was like this kind of, it was a villain part.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah, he told me. He said, I would think it'd be great for one of the other parts, but I don't see you as this part. And I get it because...
Why not?
Because I'm not a villain.
Yeah, but you used to be.
I think now I'm looooking villainous because I got this. This is me now with this villainous beard.
You got the villain moustache.
But back then I didn't have the villainous moustache. I looked like a sweet little boy,
fresh face, and cute and adorable.
Yeah, and like obviously that's all you would really see of me in like my show reels. So from knowing me, it's like I'm not like a villainous person. So you can't picture me.
I'm not buying it. I can't imagine you being like,
now,
right.
I can imagine you doing it now.
Give us your best evil person. Come on, give us an evil laugh.
I can imagine it now.
Yeah, see, this is why he's all panto.
Yeah. So, because I like that's not really who I am. Like, I'm more of like people would say like I'm more like the jokey kind of guy. So I definitely get it, and I think that's what made me so persistent. Is like I have to do this. It wasn't like it wasn't a film that went anywhere.
Yeah, but it's a student film.
It was a student film. It was
to show you what to show what you can do.
And I think it was I liked the script. It was like get to work with two of my good friends, and the part is like the part that I want to do. Like those are the parts that I think really interest me. These psychopathic characters.
Oh, I love a good psychopath. Everyone loves a villain,
right?
Yeah, everyone loves a good psychopath because it's like you get to switch all your emotions.
I like an anti-hero more.
Yeah.
What do you think is the difference?
Anti-hero does it for more selfish motives. So like anti-hero will like save the day, but not like a Magneto occasionally.
Yeah, like a villain who becomes good.
He's occasionally will team up with the X-Men for his own selfish motive, then he's go back to be a villain.
So he accidentally does the right thing.
Or if you watch Dragon Ball Z,
accidentally does the right thing.
If you watch Dragon Ball Z, like a character like a Vegeta, he will team up with the Z fighters to for his own selfish motives, but not he doesn't do it because he care about saving people. He doesn't care.
Right, it's like his I get.
So I like a good anti-hero because there's more depth to their character. He's like I'm gonna help you do the right thing, but it's because there's something.
Yeah.
Wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Now we're all evil.
Yeah, I don't care about saving the world.
Yeah,
I just care about whatever.
Well, you kind of would, otherwise you die. I mean, you got to say the word unless you got a really.
I don't care about London being blown up, but my house is there.
Yeah, but at those property prices,
I got two houses in London.
That mortgage ain't going anywhere. It's all digital, mate.
I'm with you. But as soon as we save London, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Interesting. I didn't really thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's quite a sophisticated characters to write. To be fair,
I love.
You're
that.
right.
I love an anti-hero.
Yeah, I just find a good anti-hero.
Yeah.
But like, it's interesting because I mean, I say this now, but when I was a kid, I remember one of the first things I got cast at like 4 years old was in a play of the Jungle Book, and it was Shere Khan. The villain.
Oh, everyone loves Shere Khan. He used to scare the shit out of me when I was
I was so sad.
I hated. I'd hide. I
No, but
was quite cowardly child, but yeah.
When I got the role, I cried because I was so sad.
Why?
Because I didn't want to be the villain.
What?
I'm a 4-year-old. So
You were 4 in the
Yeah, you wouldn't. Nobody wants to be
Nobody
shared.
wants to be
Right?
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I was
think
like,
it's
I know everyone's gonna hate me. I'm the bad guy.
You get to dress him as a tiger.
As a 4-year-old.
As a 4-year-old, you got to remember the mind of a 4-year-old.
yeah.
Nobody wants to be Scar in Lion King. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to be Shere Khan.
Jeremy Irons, come on, he clearly wanted to be. Like,
No, as a kid.
yeah, I know.
When you're 4 years old, you're not like, oh, he's a great actor. You're like, fuck Scar. You
It's like, oh no, Scar killed Mufasa. But it's like,
fuck
yeah.
Scar. Everybody's like, fuck Scar.
But then you get to do the growly voice. You get to be like, it's like, well, I'm assuming he didn't say fuck you, but it's more or less, it's like, fuck you, Mufasa.
No, it was like,
I would love that.
no, that's the famous line. It was like, long live the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, best line in the movie. Honestly, apart from
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody wanted to be him though.
Exactly.
Everybody wanted to be Simba or Mufasa.
Well, that was.
I
I feel like Simba was my first role model.
Yeah.
In life, actually. Yeah.
I used to walk around with the Simba Mufasa bag.
Oh, I think I did as well. I used to walk around school and be like, I just can't wait to be king.
There's the headmaster coming after you with the cane. Like, shut the fuck up. Literally, it's Victorian Day. But yeah, okay. So let's move on from like acting and that. Let's just go forward for. So you mentioned in the brief that you were in your first relationship. It's a long distance thing. Tell us about that. How's that going for you?
I mean, it's honestly super difficult. I don't know if any of you guys.
Where's she from? Tell us about her.
I mean,
How'd you meet? The whole meet cute. Let's go.
Yeah, so it was last year. I went to Malta for my first ever, I guess, lads. I mean, we're not really lads.
Well, lads.
We're not really that type of
Stag
lads,
doobie
but
type thing, yeah.
we were 3 men.
3 men.
And we were on a holiday together, and we went to Malta. First time for me going with other people, like that isn't my family, and I think for them as well, it was like all of our first kind of lads holiday in that sort of sense. And it was the second day. I think I won't lie, we were just talking to every single girl that would walk past,
Standard.
and I actually had it was a miraculous thing. Never happened before.
Wait, did catcalling actually work?
But we weren't cat. It was not cat
Because I own a van.
Well, I mean, we would just say hello.
Yeah, actually, yeah, lovely.
Very,
Charming.
very. We've been working on this actually for
Wait,
like
you've been working on your word hello?
on our hellos.
Method
yes.
acting.
Yes. So I remember
Take notes, people.
we used to go to this place in Canary Wharf, Caravan,
Yeah.
and we would eat our meals there, and we'd stand outside, and we would just practice saying hello there to everyone.
Hello
You
there.
know, just to. I guess we're like
Do you
most
find
people.
the Irish accent works? I used to use that occasionally. Like, I pulled an Irish accent and I managed to hold it for 10 minutes. The girl got me a shot, and as soon as I was like, oh, I can't keep the shit up, she slapped me. And then I was only going to the toilet. I was like, could you move out the way? Because they don't listen otherwise. And you're just like, could you move? Please move. You're lovely guy.
While we're off point, can you do the accent?
Yeah, what accent can you do?
I don't know. Most accent. I don't know. Give your name an accent.
Irish.
Irish. Like what type of Irish? Like you're gonna like Conor McGregor Irish or like sort of like northern Irish. Is the hard
Irish is the scary one. Like, you know,
What
like,
about American?
American, like a standard American or like a
New York.
Cali American. New York American.
It's funny
is
how
more
everyone does the
which one?
stereotypes
Like
when they talk about Cali
more
American.
like this.
Atlanta?
I didn't even know what.
Florida?
Floridian. It's like you got like you get smokers croak. Otherwise, it's like
Florida.
Yeah.
Welcome to Florida.
You just have to sound crazy. You just have to sound crazy.
Yeah.
it's like, so you're gonna go wrestle an alligator?
Yeah, I just then I'm gonna go shoot my kid.
Sorry to interrupt, but what? How you met your girlfriend? You said you are.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were in Malta, and
This is fun.
we were just speaking to everyone, especially every girl, and first of all, before I even met my girlfriend, was the craziest thing that happened to me, because I knew a little bit of Italian. I know less now because I've had to learn Portuguese because my girlfriend is Portuguese. So not that I had to, I wasn't like
No. I mean, you do though, because I mean, otherwise, you know, because let's
Just
face
like
it,
go on the hard
those
drive,
accents-
delete.
Yeah.
Don't need this.
but
like sitting there with the tequila, like, "Frump, won't be needing you anymore, Italian."
But so before just this was like I think 10 minutes before there was one of these girls that came and was speaking to us, and she was Italian. I knew Italian. Started speaking the little Italian I knew, and then she asked me out.
Wow.
For a coffee.
An Italian
the next
girl?
day.
I bet she knew a good spot.
Wait, that happens, yeah? Girls out, guys out.
It doesn't happen. It
It's doing
happens.
Italy,
It happens
really.
one time,
That hair
just
trade.
before you meet the love of your
Look at
life.
that hair.
because I didn't go on that date with her. Because like 10 minutes later, and it
Wait,
was
so how did she ask you out? Does she like approach
No,
you?
it's
Like,
the Italian girl. Like, wait, are we talking about the Italian girl who asked you out, or was it your missus who asked you
Oh,
out?
my missus definitely didn't ask me out.
oh, the Italian girl asked you out?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
but
right.
I said yes, but then I
You do know that your girlfriend's probably going to listen to this.
Huh?
You know your girlfriend's probably
She
going to
knows the story.
Oh, good. All right. Go on.
She knows
Alright,
the story.
so continue. So this Italian girl asks you out. How did she do it?
In Italian, I can't remember the Italian words because I don't remember Italian anymore.
Sexy.
But it was the Italian words for we should go for a coffee tomorrow, and that was good. And then 10 minutes later, I guess we were in a good mood. Like, things are going well.
Yeah,
a girl just
clearly.
asked me out on a date.
Are you sure she wasn't being sarcastic?
Maybe she was probably being sarcastic.
Sorry,
I
that's
can't
too
lie.
easy.
She was probably being sarcastic.
Was her number
realistically.
1?
Or also, the very likely thing is that I just misinterpreted what she said because I don't speak fluent Italian. I probably just made this all up.
She probably said to you, "Where's the
wind's
coffee?
away.
Where's the coffee?
Where's the
shop?"
coffee place, right? And I'm like,
You're
hey, tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
But it was actually, I mean, at the beginning, I didn't do anything to meet my current girlfriend. It was my friend. He did the braziest move I've ever seen anyone do.
Did you say brazy?
Breezy.
Brazy.
Brazy. What's brazy mean?
Crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, I would decide.
Brave and crazy.
Yeah, I would define the word brazy. I think it would be short for brazen, maybe, but I would define the word brazy as bold and crazy mixed together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought you were saying it like a blood, because a blood always...
Oh, God, yeah,
our
God,
blood
I
always
forgot
replaces the C with a B, and they say
Yeah, absolutely right. That's true.
Because they don't say C, because they hate Crips.
Would you
That
say
is
you're a
C.
blown?
Yeah.
Instead of you're a clown.
So they
You're a
would,
clown.
Yeah.
if you didn't like someone, they'd call you a bunt.
Yeah.
How stupid.
They replaced all their B, all the C's.
I think...
That's how people talk. That's how people talk in California.
Why would you bother?
It's just, it's a lot of effort, isn't it? That's so much effort.
It's like speaking big Latin.
So they'd be like, they'd be like, I want a bupper buffy.
I want a bupper buffy.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're absolutely right because
It's
the amount of
seriously a
mental effort to do that is surely not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, like they must look over their shoulders and be like, "All right, it's cool, no one's here."
So what that is?
yeah, it's like, yeah. It's
But
cool.
funny though, funny I hear people say brazy, and I'm like, do you know what that means? Like,
Yeah, you're absolutely
Anyway,
right.
look,
It does
sorry.
originate from the Crips, so probably should.
so you're not a blood.
No, I'm not a blood, and I'm
Wanted
not a
to
Crip. I'm
clarify
not affiliated.
for audience.
Yeah, Greenwich is. I believe it's one of the few places. Well, I don't know if this is a fact, but I just remember one time it was during the second lockdown, and I was out with my friends, and we got G-checked.
What's G-chit?
Like, where you from?
Gangster check.
Like, where you from, fam?
Gangster check.
That sounds quite threatening.
Yeah, it was
I
rather
think you're
threatening.
being mucked.
I haven't been G checked in about probably 15, 16 years.
G-check.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's because you've been.
I've probably been G-checked a few times and not.
Last time I was G checked, I was about 17.
That's good, man. That's
I just
17.
answer them when people say, "Where are you from?" and I'm like,
You think
That
they're
could be a
just trying to
bad
be
thing,
friendly?
'cause if you're from a place where they have problems with,
"Nice to talk to you."
you could get yourself
You know,
stabbed.
like, yeah. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's got a problem with someone from Surrey? I
don't know.
That's the thing. That's so you.
Yeah, you just sit there. It's like like, where are you from? Right.
Sorry? Fuck you.
And then, yeah, because they just look at you as like, I've never heard of it. I'm like, great. Where are you from?
But then if you say that, then they're like, give me your phone.
What? No. Like simple answer.
Now it
like,
turns
I'd
into a
rather
mugging
not.
because you're from Surrey.
Yeah. Oh, but it didn't turn into a mugging for me.
No, I've never had a
He just said,
mugging.
"Ah,
I
cool,
don't
cool,
think- I've never
respect."
been mugged
Because I
once.
said
So what did
Greenwich.
he say?
Fuck
What did
off.
he say Greenwich?
Yeah, I said Greenwich. He was like, "Oh, okay, no worries. Cool."
When was this?
Where the fuck was he
This
hoping
was
you were from?
2020, like late in that second lockdown in 2020.
You got checked in lockdown.
You got checked
Yeah,
in
yeah,
lockdown. How bored were they? It's like, yeah, gone outside, still committed a crime.
The weirdest place I've been G-checked is in Oxford Circus. I was like...
In Oxford Circus?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is being... Who can afford...
And the guy was so short. It was
Who can
hilarious.
afford to be a gangster in Oxford Circus?
It was hilarious. So this guy came...
It's like, yeah, you're from my ends.
This guy's probably like 5'2" or 1 or
Why is
something.
it always the yappy
I'm
ones?
6'6". This guy... I was really skinny.
Picked on by a lot of little guys.
But I was really skinny at the time. Really, I was like 11 stone.
Yeah.
That's like what I weigh.
Yeah,
Well, actually, no,
but
I think
imagine me weighing what you weigh.
You guys, wait, hold on. You guys work in
Yeah.
stone?
Huh?
You guys work in stone?
Yeah.
Well,
Is
not
that-
entirely, no. I'm thinking...
I've never known anyone to work in stone.
What do you work in?
Like kgs or pounds.
Yeah, wait.
No,
Never
pounds.
stone.
Pounds is American.
You know
Yeah,
that
but I
it's
use
like
pounds,
is-
yeah, because the Americans sometimes like.
But pounds equals stone as well. It's the same...
Does it?
It's
No, it's always stone or
You got
kilos.
shit me. Like, wait, what?
I've
Stone,
I
yeah.
haven't heard
11
stone in like
2 or something like
years.
that, you know.
Yeah,
What?
stone or kilograms.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm 84
Yeah.
kilograms, give or take.
Yeah.
I've lost a little bit.
I don't even know why I would be in
I'm
stone.
quite proud of myself.
But yeah, what I was saying is... Like,
Go on. Yeah,
I
sorry.
was looking
So
forward
tell
to
me you were
circus.
anorexic.
I was.
Were you actually?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Oh, I feel bad now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Long story short, I was like a really fat kid, and then I decided to lose a lot of weight when I was in my
Clearly it
in my
works.
teenager.
Wait.
Was that through
Just in case
keto?
anyone's thinking of like losing weight, like how did you lose?
So
Was that when you did
Just stop
keto?
eating?
no, this is before keto. So
Okay.
I stopped eating properly. So I was
But
like,
when we met, you were about the same size you are now.
yeah, I put on weight by the time you met me.
Yeah, you were like
yeah,
20.
yeah. No, I was about 20 when you met me.
All right.
But before that, I was like, I had some like weird things. So like, I went down, like, I lost like 9 stone. Like
9 stone.
I lost so much weight.
How long?
Probably a few months.
Wait, so what is 9 stone?
9 stones, about 60 kilos. I mean, don't check.
It's a lot of weight.
It's a
60 kilos?
It was a lot of weight.
That's how, no, it can't be 60.
Alright, let's put it this
That's
way.
how much I weigh.
exactly. Yeah, I think
Could be-
that's
could
about
be.
right.
You lost the whole beat.
Yeah, probably. Cause I was about what?
He was 6'6".
Yeah.
So to be fair, he probably
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Well, it won't look
Oh,
as
it's
crazy as
true.
on me as it would on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, how much do you weigh now?
I weigh over 100 now.
100 kilos.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's stone to kilo thing. I'm totally with you.
I weigh over 100 kilos now.
I've got hiccups.
But anyway, what I was saying, I like when I was in school, I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And by the time I was,
Big,
I was in sixth form, so by the time I was about 17, I was about 11 stone. Like thin.
Yeah,
really
yeah,
thin,
yeah.
Really skinny. But anyway, I was walking through Oxford Circus, and then this guy goes, "What area are you from?" I looked behind me. So as I said, he was short. So I didn't see him, so I looked behind me.
Dad?
I kept walking, and I'm walking, and somebody pulls up beside me. He goes, "What area are you from?"
Did you just put your arm on top of it?
And I was like, I told him what area I'm from Kennington, blah blah blah. And he goes, "What? So you didn't hear me when I was talking to you?"
What the fuck kind of ego is this little
And I was
cunt
like, "No."
got? No.
And
Probably
then
because you were way
and
down
then-
there, little man.
Then he said to me,
Fuck. I think my camera's just died.
"No, my one did."
Oh, okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I said,
It's a shame because you're telling the story. Do you want to swap seats?
No, I've got this time over here.
All right.
But I said to him like, "Yeah, I'm on a free lesson and all that." And he's just like, "Okay." And then I sort of crossed the road and walked off. But like, I'm like, this guy tried to G-check me in Oxford Circus. It was weird.
Oh, was it his first day?
His first day on the road.
I mean, is it sort of like you know how like sometimes they like a lot, there's that rumor that gangs put all the beggars on the streets and they pick them up at the end of the evening. Do you think G-checkers are doing the same sort of thing but a smaller scale?
I think that's
obviously
like their
in this guy's
training.
case, smaller scale.
I think it's their training, you know.
Yeah.
They go into
It's like,
it's
yeah,
like the academy. You
Yeah,
just
the
start-
academy of being a G. And then after that one, it's like, you know, like,
Why are we off point?
At what point do you
what
get
was
to
everybody's
shanking?
first mugging like in London?
Say again.
What was everybody's first mugging like in London?
I've never had one.
You never had a mug? I thought you said you got mugged in Croydon.
No, I think someone just stole my phone when I was trying to call my mum. But I was passed out. I was absolutely fucked. I don't remember any of it. All I know is that I trod on a lot of people's flower beds just trying to get someone to call my mum. And then I thought my wallet had been stolen. And I was so drunk that it was actually just in my pocket, and I couldn't find it. But yeah, I mean, you know those times where you get really. I mean, I was 18, and it was like double vodka Red Bulls for like £5, and I think I spent about 30 quid. So I was fucked. Yeah, and that's kind of it. And we pre-drank. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty certain that it's pretty normal to have got money. But we found the phone in a council flat, funnily enough. And the police
Like a
said they
random
found-
one?
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, like we tracked it, and then and the cops they found it, and it was just like, but they didn't get the phone back because it was too scary for them, I think. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, so what were we talking about before, man? Like we were talking about something before we started talking about you getting G-checked.
Talk about the love of his life.
Yes, the love of your life.
I want to tell my mugging story.
Go on, tell the muggy story. Go
Because
on.
I got mugged once, and it was so weird because I didn't even realize I was getting mugged. Because this guy was just like, I was at the bus stop in New Cross, and this guy was asking everyone for some change. And I was
Sounds reasonable.
Wait, no, he didn't ask for some change. He was asking for money.
That sounds like he's begging. Yeah, I mean, like you haven't been mugged, mate. That's a beggar.
He was a beggar.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't. I thought he was a beggar, and he was asking for money, and so I give him money, but it was coins, and he slaps the coins out of my hand and goes, "Not coins, notes, fam. I need notes." And this was like,
Why would he assume you were carrying notes?
right,
It's
exactly.
just so weird. It's like, and nowadays, I mean, I do feel sorry for beggars now because it's like, like, I mean, I saw the homeless guy come around, like, London Bridge on my way here, and I'm like, I genuinely don't carry coins anymore. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I have to, like, I mean, I can't even put £1 in the gym thing, in the gym locker now because I'm just like, oh, damn it, like, yeah, every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
That's the thing.
So he wasn't accepting coins.
Well, so I have to
During his
specify,
mug.
this guy was not a beggar. This is for
no,
fact.
I've
He
got
was
that
a
impression
roadman.
when he was like a roadman.
Yeah, and I won't lie, I
yeah.
was kind of just giving it because I was scared because he was clearly like on something. He was like,
if they're mental, they're mental, and that's
Yeah.
fucking terrifying because you don't know what they're going to do next.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I gave him some coins. He slapped it at my hand. He was like, "No, notes, fam, notes." I was like, "Sorry, man, I don't have any notes." Terrified, and by the grace of God, these two like people like come and save me. They're like, leave him alone. I don't think he wants to be bothered.
That's proper brain.
Then the bus comes.
Yeah.
I get on, tap, sit, think it's calm. This guy walks on, doesn't tap, by the way, but bus driver doesn't say
he
anything.
fucking didn't.
He starts screaming at me. He's like, you know who I know? He starts naming people that I don't
Why
know.
would you know who you know?
S. Squizzy.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know.
I know
these
Ethel,
people.
motherfucker. Ethel. She makes the best brownies.
Road stab man or something.
Yeah,
Random
road
name.
man,
He was listening, and I was like, I was in shock, to be honest with you. And
I know the Cray twins. Yeah.
yeah, literally. And I mean, to be honest, it's like that's.
Are they dead?
Yeah, dead.
They are
cute.
dead.
All right. Well, no,
Very
not cute,
dead.
but like,
You were
Very
scared
dead.
of upsetting the Cray twins.
I am not going to fuck around.
That's true. These are not
You know
people
what I mean?
to fuck with.
The movie is literally called Legend.
I watched it. Have you watched it?
Fucking great.
Have you watched Legend?
I've watched it.
Love a bit of Tom Hardy.
I think Tom Hardy in that
Stay on
is-
point, team. Come on, we've got to stay on point.
Is isn't that the whole point of this? Do you just to stay off the point?
No. The point
No,
always
that's
has to
right.
go off point, then you come back on point, then you go off point.
In
Again.
other
So
words,
what was the
Marlon
point?
Brando
What was
says-
the original
okay,
point?
We're talking about how you were mugged. Okay, so you're on the
Mugged?
You're on the bus. On the bus, guy comes
No,
up.
the original point was about the love of your life. Then we went on to
Yes.
how you got mugged. So let's.
Don't make it hard.
We're gonna.
I think the mug. No, I know. I know.
When it is inception of our.
Make a
I
note,
know.
Marlon. I'm making a note.
Honestly, I think I understand this just like you guys do because all my conversations are like this. So we always have to like go back.
Sure, you're not pinging like me.
No, are you sure? What?
Are you sure you're not got ADHD?
Oh, probably.
High five.
I undiagnosed probably.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Go on. Sorry, I don't mean to just diagnose you in the middle of the podcast, but yeah, go on.
Mugging.
Mugging, yes.
I mean, I feel like that story is wrapped up. You know, he was screaming at me, and no one was doing anything because
So, did
no
you
one
just
does
sort of
anything.
Sit down quietly.
I was just sitting there like this, terrified, and he's there like, you know, I know these people. I'm going to
Did
send
he
them
get
for
his phone
you.
out, just sort of like show you the number.
So did you take? Did he take anything from you?
I guess it wasn't a mugging, was it? Actually, no,
It's kind of a very strange, crazy person.
Yeah, I guess it was more of a. I don't know. I was scared to. Yeah, I was scared to go to New Cross for a while, but now I'm not scared anymore. And I walk in New Cross, my chest up. Well, I'm not like. I'm not like. I don't walk. I'm not.
a police escort.
I'm not walking out looking for trouble, but you know, I'm not scared anymore.
You shouldn't be.
Like,
Yeah.
my first attempt in mugging was kind of about 15 years old. I
Who
think
the fuck is dumb enough to mug a 6'6" black guy built like you?
I was 6'6".
fuck
I was
is that
15.
dumb?
I was 15 years old. So I was about.
15 years old, so only 6 foot.
About 6'2", maybe 6'1".
Judy Dane.
It's still
That's
taller than me.
That's taller than me, yeah.
But I had no facial hair. I was baby
You got
face.
facial hair now.
I barely have facial hair.
What do you do? Patch your patches. Look at that. It's smooth.
I got a bit of facial hair, but I was really baby faced, really young. I looked really young for my age.
Yeah.
You were 15.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, I was in the phone shop.
6'10"
I went to Walls Roads, South London. I was in a phone shop trying to get, don't know where it was? The Elephant Castle.
Oh yeah. I'm with you.
So
I know where Elephant Castle.
East Street Market.
All right, we'd have to get too geographical. We have American.
I was in
somewhere in South London.
I was in East Street Market.
London's the one that's on the Thames.
Famous market in London. Anyway, I was in there. I was trying to get. When like you used to get face for your phone, like we used to,
Faced for your phone.
so you used to change your phone face, the color of your phone.
What you mean, like?
Like the Nokia. Like Nokia. You change.
Oh wow.
the back cover.
This is old school. This is real
back
old school.
cover, yeah.
For young kids, like basically.
yeah, I
but
do remember,
For you
yeah.
young kids listening, yeah, we used to like. You used to have your phone, and then you could change the color of your phone. You go to these phone shops before cases,
Yeah.
and you change the color of your phone. So that's what I was doing. I went to the phone shop to change.
Okay.
You went all the way to South. Oh yeah, no, because you lived.
I lived there, so I went to the phone shop to change the thing. But I had a Sony Ericsson.
Those are the phones, though.
Yeah,
those are the great
Sony
phones.
Ericsson,
That
yeah.
was the last great phone in my opinion. It was
The
Sony
age of the
Ericsson.
I had a Sony Ericsson, and most of the faces were Nokias. So
Right.
So I had to go to phone shop to find the right one for my phone.
This
Yeah.
is back before you could Google the phone
Yeah,
shop that has
yeah. So I went to multiple phone shops.
Amazon
And
was
I was
another thing.
deep in East Street Market, and like it's in Walls Road. The people call it Woolly Road. It's like connected with Peckham and all that.
Yeah.
So I was like completely on my own.
That sounds dangerous.
And I was in the phone shop, and this guy in the hood walked by, and he just started like screwing me, like watching me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, shit. And I looked away. I got up. I went to the front, the counter, and I was like, "Do you have this?" And they're like, "No, we don't have it." So I left, and the guy was waiting for me outside. I was like,
Yeah, you're
shit.
tempted just to ask these people how their lives are going.
Yeah. And then he
'Cause
goes to
I
me.
feel like,
and
if
he
you
goes,
went into therapist mode,
Yeah.
it'd probably open up quite a bit
Yeah.
more. You'd learn about how he's having a divorce, and you get to have a little bit of more of a connection, and
Yeah.
eventually you find you've got yourself a gangster.
the guy was literally perfectly positioned. He's like like you must have
almost like you did it on purpose.
You must have walked past and then
Yeah.
you walked around and came back to where I was gonna go. I don't know how you knew I was gonna walk this way, but it was stood right there.
It's a bit like how Gabriel Princip.
But he must have walked because I didn't see him walk back around. He must have walked past the shop and then walked around and came back and waited for me as I was walking
Did
out.
you not catch him peeking around the corner? But
No.
he's coming this way. Oh yeah, like
He stared at me and then walked like past the store as we he just literally walked past. So he walked that way. So it's gone this way. So I'm gonna go this way when I leave. So I got out, but somehow he must have walked around and was waiting for me in this
This
direction.
guy's clever, man.
Yeah.
Like, he knew your exact route.
I bet he didn't have any GCSEs either.
Yeah. And then I walked in and then he was just stood right there. I was like, shit. He goes to me like, what are you doing around there?
Buying a phone, fuck what, you've just seen me in the shop.
No, but obviously I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna tell him I'm fucking buying a phone, no man.
Well, no.
So I'm just here chilling, that sort of thing.
I'm just
And he goes, and he
That's
goes,
not going to work either.
but then he goes to me like, okay, my little brother was like out later on.
He told you he sold you an X Factor set.
Yeah,
sob
he said his little,
that's amazing.
he said
Muggers with sob
he
stories.
said his little brother's walking around and he got beaten up by some guys and he thinks I'm one of the people that beat his brother.
Well, I can assure you I'm not.
Yeah.
Look at my knuckles, otherwise
Yeah.
I'd have your blood on them.
Yeah, I said to him, I'm like, no, it wasn't me. I'm like,
Oh, my
he's
character's
like,
died.
he's like, yeah, don't worry. Then he was like, yeah, don't. I was like, it wasn't me. He goes, I don't know that. Unfortunately, I don't know that it wasn't you.
All right, so then he just kind of checked to make sure
Yeah.
that he wasn't. I mean, that's perfectly reasonable.
No, he wasn't reasonable.
That's totally reasonable.
And he goes, I think you're the one that robbed my brother. But he goes, anyway.
But he let you go.
No, he didn't let me go. He goes, what phone do you have? Anyway, what phone do you have? And I said to him, I don't have a phone. Which could be semi-believable because of the time.
You were
It
in
was
a
like,
phone shop.
Yeah, yeah.
He just watched
yeah,
you
yeah.
change.
It could be
the cover.
it could be semi-believable. It's 2004.
I feel like you're asking for trouble.
But anyway, I said I don't have a phone. He goes, anyway. He goes, okay, if I search you, then I find a phone. That means I get to keep it then because you don't have a phone.
No, if you search me like a cop, what was he, like an undercover cop? It's like the irony. Like, it's like shouldn't you? Yeah, like
But anyway,
you're the one who tends to get searched.
But
Yeah,
I
I'm
remember
very good at it.
But I remember
It's
you're
plenty of practice.
But I remember you're being like completely intimidated by this.
Oh, yeah,
person.
you're scared
of.
shitless. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like it's not like a random guy coming up to me like, oh, I'm like, fuck off. But this is like, I'm scared.
Yeah, he probably got.
So he's like, let me. He's like, if I search you, I'm taking your phone. And I'm like, I said, you're not taking my phone. After he said that, he goes, what do you mean you're not taking? Oh, I'm not taking your phone. He grabs me like this. But then
scary, man.
he grabs me
on the camera, by the way.
You can see him like.
Oh, okay.
He grabs me like this, and I'm like,
safe.
Yeah, he grabs me like this, and I'm like.
Don't do the thing you did in.
Only thing I can do is act brave, even though I'm terrified.
I'd be scared shitless.
So I'm like, don't fucking touch me. Don't fucking touch me. He's like, what?
Yeah, I'll do you
And
like
then
I did your brother.
They tried to drag me into an alleyway. He's like, come in this alleyway then, innit? I'm like,
Oh yeah. That sounds a lot more.
yeah.
Like,
So I
that
start
sounds a lot
puff
better.
myself up, like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
And then I start like backing away as I'm saying, and like, don't fucking touch me. I'm like backing away, and then like, I hit the corner, and I run, sprint, got away.
So you didn't take it?
No, I didn't get it.
Oh man, that's
But-
a really lucky one. Yeah,
But how he made me feel so small, I couldn't even use my phone for a while.
What?
That's how bad he made me
You
feel.
couldn't use your phone for a while.
Yeah, because of the mental.
Really?
I had that with Instagram. It's like that whole.
Because I
issue
felt,
with
because he made me like so scared. He made me,
Yeah.
I had to run away.
Yeah.
He made me feel so
feel
small.
targeted.
Made me feel so small. I went home and just put my phone down. I couldn't look at it. I was like, that's how small he made me feel.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just change the cover and it would look like a different phone?
No,
Oh.
I did change the cover eventually because I was on the hunt for the
Yeah,
case.
exactly.
I found.
Yeah,
I did-
you finally
I
did.
did find it eventually.
You got the right case.
Yeah, I found it eventually.
All's well that ends well.
But for like a week, I couldn't use my. I left it at home. I wouldn't take it to school with me. I felt so like belittled.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's the way they make you feel. It's,
Yeah.
it's not even like like even I mean like it's a bit
Not
like,
even like the whole like it's just the way he made me feel.
No, you're absolutely right. I think mental pain is actually way worse than physical
It takes
pain.
for fucking ever as well because it's not like you can't monitor your progress.
Yeah.
And, like I know that we've both been through depression before. Are you okay to talk about that? Or?
For sure.
Yeah, so it's like like having been through depression myself a few times, and it's like like because the ADHD, it's like you're up and down. Sometimes stress and everything like that gets on top of you a bit. So it's like that's what happens, and it's like but it's but yeah, it's very hard because it's like I had a call today actually, someone checking up on how the therapy went. Like I had therapy about 6 months ago, just kind of checked myself after I got made redundant, and I was like, well. And they were like, how do you feel now? And I'm like, well, like last week I felt like shit. This week, feeling great. Bit of sunshine. Absolutely loving it. Like life is good again. Because I'm being more positive today. I've decided I'm going to be positive. And it's like, great, and it's just like, but you get those days where you're just like, oh, Jesus. And you're like, come on, get up, get out of bed. It's like 11 a.m. and you're just like, fucking move. You know, like horrible, horrible feeling. But it's like, yeah, I just don't get, you know, like, I mean, it's hard because, you know, especially when you've experienced a level of trauma as well. It's just like, you know, like you ruminate, you know, you have all these other anxieties that come with every, you know, like traumatic event. And not even just a single event, but, you know, like a period of trauma, you know, like it's called complex PTSD. So, like, for example, people who get arrested, you know, like they have like, you know, the police take your phone, you have like 6 months of this, and you're like, you know, and it's just very difficult because you're kind of questioning yourself the whole time. And I find that, you know, I've personally been in that situation before where I was wrongly accused of something, and it was like, you know, like, but for 6 months you're like, shit, what's going to happen in my future? So that kind of, for me, created a complex PTSD syndrome. And, you know, I had to work through that as well. But where am I going with this? Shit. But how do you deal with your sort of, because you mentioned in the notes that, you know, like you go through these manic depressive episodes. How do you deal with it? Because
I think the main thing that I'm always trying to aim at with that is some form of balance, which is the hardest thing to do
when you're in the hole.
I just think full stop for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, you know, it's always extremes. I'm always on the extremes, so it kind of does manifest in my mental health.
Go on. Yeah, sorry.
What are you going to say?
Fairly sure you need to just take a little test. I'll send you the link later. Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, I like it manifests in my mental health. Like I'll have these extremely high, like manic periods where I'll be super energized and like just like feel like Superman.
Yeah.
You know, top of the world. And then these they're the complete opposite.
Do you know what triggers it? Or is it like, you know, is it something like, you know, it's distress, something like that? Or is it just kind of a random switch?
I think there's always, it's usually, I've been doing some research on it recently, and I think definitely with the highs, it's something changes, you know? And I had, the most recent one I had was like in the beginning of this year, and it was very much, I know what caused it. It was, I was penciled for a couple of jobs, like 3 jobs.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know, I'm getting it. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, right? Of like, if you in this industry, you can't like think that everything is guaranteed and then that you can rely on this. Because I thought, I've got 3 jobs, I'm penciled for them, I'm probably going to get them. And then I didn't get any of them.
Oh, no, but that's such a blow. I mean, I've been job hunting myself, and it's like, you know, like when you have like all these things lined up and all of a sudden they all just dead.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, great, now nothing again.
Exactly. And I mean, initially that was what the feeling was, is like, I mean, I always think I have these moments of doubt, and that was definitely one.
Oh, yeah.
And then what that read into was this insane motivation to not rely on that.
Weak, yeah.
You know,
it kind of like, it's that sort of like when you're down and out and you just know that you hit some form of, not necessarily rock bottom, but like, you know, when it's like, do you find that understanding your own brain sort of almost objectively is like, you know, you find that it's like, okay, right, well, I've hit the rock bottom, here's why, right, fuck that, here's why I'm good. And then you can kind of turn it against itself in a way, like, you know, kind of like bounce off it and be like, all right, that shit, that happened, but now what I'm going to do about that problem, I'm going to solve it by doing X, Y, and Z. Or how do you kind of move forward? Yeah,
I think I think for me, what I've been realizing, and again, it goes to balance. It's like, it's got to be both. You got to wallow, and you got to be sad.
You got to have your 2 weeks of wallowing.
Yeah. But then you got to put your shoes on and get to it.
That's it.
And
it's like my mum will always like, because I know that your mum's quite a big influence on you as well. And it's like, when they're like, it's like, look, you really need to suck it up. And you're like, fine. So, you know, like, it's all right, fine. I'll get rid of the booze. You know, so I was enjoying having my little drunk in my underwear wallow. It's like, Leslie, get the fuck up. It's like, all right, fine. You know, out you get. You know, my girlfriend did that to me like last week, and I was just like, I have got this. You know, I'm coming out swinging. It's like, not just
you got to go down swinging,
me. I'm going in swinging. I'm just like, yeah. And now I've got a couple of interviews lined up. I'm quite
nice, man.
Yeah,
I hope they go well. You know.
Yeah, me too. I'm really hoping. But yeah, you know, shit happens. If it doesn't, if it does, then we start again.
Exactly.
Sorry, if it doesn't happen, then we start again. You know, whatever it is, what it is. But no, I mean, like, that's really valuable because, yeah, like, you know, you do have to come out swinging. It's just that strength is just so. I mean, when you're drained, it's like you're so just like, right, you know, like, all right, that, you know, like you get, I get this little dark voice in the back of my head that just growls at me, and then it's like, all right, move, and you know, it's the simplest of moves. It's left foot, right foot.
Yeah,
it's not even, you know, like jump out of bed, run to the gym or anything like that. It's just left foot, right foot, make your tea, you know, make a coffee. Made a coffee. Make your bed. Make your bed. All right, next, we're going to text Marlon and tell him that we're sad. And Marlon's going to text back something very encouraging because he always does. Yeah, anyway, so, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah. Okay, so like, but you mentioned before in the notes, you talked about your girlfriend and your mum. So like, does your mum helps you a lot with, you know, like, because you said that she was quite an inspiration for your career and, you know, like where you are now, like, how does that work? How has her parenting affected you?
I mean, I think, I don't, not to discredit my dad, but I guess in terms of career, like, she has been an incredible influence. And yeah, as I said, I'm extremely grateful to have a family like that who isn't just encouraging, but is almost, I don't know, like, I don't know what the word is, but
stable.
No, like, I don't know what the word is, but she like she was pushing me before I knew that
being pushed.
That this was a path for me, really. Yeah. You know, like my mum is a comedian, so yeah.
We should get her on.
Yeah, you should. You should.
That'd be lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Reiss Kershi.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, she's obviously in the arts, and I guess because of that, like.
So she knows what it's like to be booed off stage, kind of thing, and then like also have those days when you just absolutely smash it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she taught me everything that she knows, and like from her experience, you know.
Yeah.
Say again.
So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, ultimately I wouldn't be doing acting if it wasn't for her. She basically forced me to go to my first audition. I didn't want to go because it was
scary as fuck.
I just couldn't be bothered, to be honest with you.
You couldn't be asked
because I was
why
I was doing my A-levels at the time.
Oh man!
So it was like,
yeah.
I've got, and there's already the most
balls in it already. Like, you know, I don't have time to read this.
Yeah. And like at that time, I wouldn't say like, okay, I'm pursuing acting. I was going to uni for film, and I probably would have liked to acted, but I think I was more thinking I'm going to be behind the cameras.
Side,
yeah. And it was an extra role that they were casting for. And my mum saw it on Twitter, and she was like, "You should go to this." I was like, "No, I don't want to." And she was like, "You're going to this."
Yeah.
I was like,
"Get dressed, boy."
Okay. And I went there, and I remember. So it was in East London, obviously, you know, just like you from Red Hill.
Yeah.
And like they all like talk.
I mean, that train feels a lot longer just because there's a hill between like London, you know, because you got the South Downs and that, you know, the North Downs, and you're like. It feels like a huge barrier sometimes.
I honestly think it's a different country.
Yeah, it feels like a different country, doesn't it? Like, yeah, it's a really weird thing. It's like half an hour, an hour on the train. You're like, oh, all right, we've gone from Narnia to London. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, go on, sorry.
So, no, I lost my train of thought. That's okay, though. That's the first time in, like, I don't even know how long
it's not.
Is it not?
Yeah, we're still going back to your girlfriend. Don't you worry. I'm still going to get you on that one. I am not being media manipulated again.
What was?
It was about your mum being an influence on your acting, and you said that how she was kind of how she pushed you into your first gig.
Yeah, so it was an audition. It was really just casting for extras, and I was like, she was like, this would be a good thing to do, to see what it's like to be on set, and have that experience.
That's a great experience.
Yeah. So that was really what it was, and I did the audition. I think they asked us to be lawyers, and I was the only person who'd really even done any sort of acting in school. Apparently, in a lot of, I mean, I hope it's different now, but like back then, which was maybe 8 years ago, or 9 years ago, 10 years ago, I don't know. But it was it was a bunch of these kids from schools, random schools in East London that hadn't even done acting classes. They didn't even have drama classes in school, which was wild to me.
So it's like a free-for-all.
Yeah, so they were just like, I mean, because obviously it was set in East London, so they were looking for people
with the actual accent.
Yeah, and so they were just obviously being themselves. And the improvisation was like act like a lawyer, So in my head, I'm like,
An East London lawyer.
well, originally I'm like, oh, lawyer is like, sort of very
super
posh.
rude, yeah, like-
But then obviously they were just like being themselves. They're like, yeah, law, let's get the case and that. And then I was just like, oh,
Just hasten that. I don't think they're going to get the part. It's like, could you imagine if you went to the court? It's like, okay, look, my back's against the wall. I could go to jail for a long time for this. It's like, yeah, blood. It's like, I mean, I don't want to sound weird about it, but I mean, that is the last thing. I mean, if I was there, I was like, excuse me, I'm just going to leave. And how much an hour? 400.
Well, I think that's what they were looking for, to be honest. I don't know, but like they were obviously just being themselves, like talking their own accents. They weren't really thinking about it. And then I would just copied what they were doing, and then I felt so annoyed at myself afterwards because I was like, that's. No, I didn't go with my gut. I just followed the herd, and which I feel like is very common when you're a child, right?
Of course,
like
you're only 18, you're impressionable. That's the thing. I mean, you want to kind of because you think that's how it's done. You're learning from them, but you're learning the wrong thing, but you don't know the difference. Yeah, it's normal.
But so that happened. I thought it went terribly because it went terribly for me. And then I get a text message from the casting director saying they want to see me to read for a part. I was like, what? Wow. And then I had a bunch of auditions until I was probably like 4 or 5 until I was finally like in the room with people who I guess are people like me now who are actors in the industry who have agents and stuff. So this was their first audition. This was my like 6th.
Wow.
And then I did that. Then there was a screen test, which was actually in that screen test, which was my first ever screen test, was with Florence Pugh.
I don't know that.
Oh, you don't know who that is?
The name sounds familiar, but who is that?
Florence Pugh. She's like the biggest actress in the world now. You don't know Florence Pugh?
What's she mean?
It's crazy. She was in Oppenheimer.
Still nothing.
Was she main character or?
I'm going black. I don't know. I thought maybe I misinterpreted how big Florence Pugh was.
No. Yeah, what else she been in?
It's like she was in that one of those Marvel films.
They all have.
Yeah, right.
That's the way you're interacting.
Yeah.
I swear.
But she was like not big then. She just done a film with Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones.
Oh, right.
And she didn't get the part, and then went on to obviously have a extensive career. Yeah.
We can't remember. Oppenheimer, amazing. Go you, Flo.
Yeah.
Go Flo. Go ahead.
So yeah, I had
and
that
if you'd like
screen
to be on
test.
our show, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, I had that screen test, and then
She looks like Kate Winslet.
Really?
Marlon's Google.
I don't think so. Kate Winslet?
No, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia now. Okay, it doesn't matter. Go on.
She's an Oppenheimer. You're not lying.
She's an Oppenheimer. Yeah. It was I think it was a fairly small role. There was a lot of people in Oppenheimer.
Oh, right. Actually been a fair few. Malevolent. Wow. Okay, sorry, go on.
Oh, okay. She's in Black Widow as well.
Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking.
The Marvel.
All right, go on. All right.
But yeah, what was the point of this story? Oh yeah.
He's worse than me. I love this. All right, okay, good. All right, okay. So, it was your first gig, and why your mum encouraged you. Let's go back to your mum then. All right.
I think that was it, really.
And then you end up this gig, and then it's like you met like these incredible people, and then it's that's kind of what pushed your acting career, and you were like, I should take it
seriously. I mean, that's what started. That was my first professional gig, and I did it, and I was like, I love this. This is excellent. This is great.
It's such an inspiration,
And I think originally I was thinking I'm going to be a director. I didn't really know what that was, right? I don't think you really do unless you like study or whatever. And I saw what the director did, and I was like, that's not for me.
No.
So what does a director do?
So
put the film.
Yeah, no, I know the basic definition, but like he's experienced it. So
just
what?
I'm going to bounce because I need a pee.
No worries.
You boys keep chatting.
Yeah, okay, cool.
All right, so I'm just gonna.
No worries.
Hope my jeans are okay. Definitely. I'm glad I wore jeans instead of the job.
I had to pee already, don't we?
Oh, it's a nightmare. Honestly, that's yeah.
But yeah, what is that like? So like,
what does the director do?
Yeah, what did they do? Because like we know, like you see films and you know what they're meant to do, but like in your experience as an actor, what did they do?
So I mean, obviously before they even get on set, the director has like 2 months of prep where they're looking at the script, breaking down the script into the storyboards, what the shots are going to be, and then they'll work with the producer to obviously get all of that arranged.
Yeah,
I think that's why I see the job of the producer as, which is the job I have done. Basically, you've got the director; he has a vision. He wants to do this. You make that happen. But there's different styles. I mean, obviously, there's the more like, you know, Harvey Weinstein obviously had a very different style of directing. I'm producing, not just like, you know, his allegations, but like his thing was more like, you know, I think with Quentin Tarantino is
You
different.
didn't work with him by any chance?
No. But like that style is more, you know, I guess authoritarian, and it's like they kind of want to be the director in the way. I think if you want to be the director, then you can be the director. But if
I've done it once for a small student film.
you studied film, you said, right? Yeah.
So I've done scripts. I've directed a couple of things, but I mean like real small.
So what did you find it fun, or did you find it super stressful? Or...
I found it very stressful, and I found like you might plan it out, but like, oh, this is gonna take only an hour, and you actually take 10 hours.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, you just don't, like, especially when you're first films, you don't really know, you don't have a great concept on time.
Yeah,
you're like, we've got to get all of this done in an hour. In reality, you only get one thing done in an hour.
Say again.
So in reality, you only get one thing done in an hour. That's like, you might have like 5 things you want to shoot in this 1 hour. In reality, you might only be able to get one or none.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
so...
I remember, like when I was first shooting the film, and I would be so confused because I was like, we're only shooting like 2 scenes. Like we can get. How would this not take like 5 minutes? Like we know our dialogue, and it does.
Yeah.
It just like things take long because like you got to set up lights. I mean,
exactly.
even you guys know,
Exactly.
you know, just from this little studio, it takes time to set all this stuff.
Living room, really. I mean, like, although I do feel like we need a better background.
Yeah,
we've discussed this.
Really,
I mean,
what would you want as the background?
I get weighted out. I'm like, you know, without the beard, honestly, because I'm basically invisible.
But what do you think it should be? Like, what about like this logo? Maybe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, also,
we can get like a blanket made.
No, eventually, I got an idea for like a studio, like, but
he's
not here though.
So we're going to set up his garage, like proper,
nice.
like, you know, like proper dads with a hobby.
Okay.
He'll be a dad soon as well. I mean,
So like, obviously, like in this flat, there's not really great wall space. You just like,
should I close the door?
That's fine.
Right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there's not really great.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, don't worry. But yeah, there's not great wall space here, like, so you have to like film against there.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, in an ideal world, I would like to film against a wall or like a background.
Makes sense.
We should have like a shabby sort of off-point poster behind us or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
A bit more sort of like American.
Yeah, eventually I'll get.
It'll be really good fun.
Yeah, eventually.
I keep offering to tell you to come over to my flat. 'Cause I've got some pretty nice couches. But yeah, like.
But yeah, eventually the idea is to build. Eventually the idea is to build a proper studio.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, get garage. Probably fun like this.
Yeah, I've got a garage.
Yeah,
So you're good? Is that where you want to build the studio in your garage?
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a car, so there's only one car in there. But it'll be us talking to.
Yeah, but nobody puts their car in the garage anymore. Anyway.
What?
Is that not a thing?
No. I put my
Because like basically most garages in the country are like really small. So like your car, like most modern cars are not great.
A modern car is very big. Yeah. I don't drive.
Yeah,
I don't know.
meters of size. Yeah, I mean they're full of.
I'm learning at the moment, so I'm like,
Yeah, I need to start learning.
I just started learning.
For the first time ever.
Yeah.
You didn't ever do it.
No.
I can literally drive.
I was like, when I was 17, my mom gave me all the paper, and I just threw it away.
So you had no interest at all when you were a kid.
Well, I guess if you got like all the transport in London, then it's fine. But I mean, like
also as well, like you have to think. You have to think,
man. You got to learn.
You have to think. When I was like 17, they just introduced a congestion charge. I didn't have a job.
That.
I was like years away from
driving in London.
Working
is
properly.
the worst.
So it was like all these obstacles in terms of driving. So I was just like, at the time, I was just like, fuck it,
mate. I don't blame you. I mean, honestly, I would not. I mean, I was considering driving here tonight, and I just wouldn't do it because I had to go London Bridge first, and I was like, I could ride my motorbike, but I'm like, I would rather be gloves.
Yeah. It's only because I'm moving to a place where like I'm moving to North London eventually.
Yeah,
right.
And then and also my wife is pregnant and everything. There's only now I need to actually drive now. Like, that actually serves a purpose now for me to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
But when I was younger, I was like, I don't really need it.
So do you knowing the situation now? Do you wish you had started before? Or you think it's okay doing it now?
Now it feels like there's pressure to
really.
Well, yeah, but there were a few things. It's like it's weird how like me and a kid is like my mate Junior. He was like proper like chilled. He's like devil may care kind of thing. He became a dad about 2 months ago, and he started organising lads' nights and everything. And it's like who the fuck is this guy? You know, like it's weird. It's like suddenly you're very responsible for this little person, and you become a more responsible person. I think.
Yeah.
But, well, some of us do, some of us don't. But in general, like, I mean,
you think you've become a more responsible person?
Oh, hell no. I hope I'm the fun one.
Like,
because my girlfriend, she's the responsible one. She's like really like. Whereas I'm like more. I mean, I've always wondered. Like, I mean, firstly, the only thing that I have on my little dad list is if the baby's bald, I'm going to have him I'm going to get my little mini-me outfit and I'm going to go as Dr. Evil. And I will have a Halloween party specially just so I can have this little outfit of me and mini-me. And that's how everyone's going to meet the damn baby.
Yeah.
Just in a little teeny tiny suit. I don't care if it's a boy or a girl. I don't give a shit. I'm like, it's going to be me and mini-me. Both of us, I will shave my hair. I mean, by then I'll probably have to anyway. But still, I mean, I think that there's lots of these little ideas that you get when your friends got babies. I mean, for example, why is it that no one wants to put a baby in a backpack? Because I just think that it's like...
Wait. Why would you put a baby in a backpack?
Well, if it's convenient.
Yeah, that is a good question. Why are you trying to put babies in backpacks?
Well, okay, how you have because you get those daddy stroller...
Or the
chest ones, right? They're like £300. I got a bag already, man, and it's this big. It's the size of what? 4 kilos? 3 kilos?
I'm sorry.
3 kilos, 3.5. I mean, obviously, once his neck gets a bit stronger.
Have you lost your mind?
What's it going to do? The worst thing that's going to happen is he's going to get some weird fetish about being in bags. What are you going to do? Let's say you're just going down the shop.
Do not put a baby in a
backpack. Public disclaimer, do not
I
put
reckon at
babies
one
in a
point
backpack.
you put a baby in a backpack because it's you got littles and you buy a bit too much and you just
Tesco bag? What?
No, you don't put a baby in a Tesco bag. You might choke. But
Which bag do you put a baby in then?
that one probably. I reckon.
Right.
I mean, no. Because,
For anybody listening, he pointed to his rucksack.
yeah, but it's small. You can put them on. I mean, you obviously open a little air hole. Whatever.
So they're inside like this with a tiny little air hole.
Like a fucking...
In the darkness,
9 months.
essentially.
Have you had any fuss? I don't mind getting
Like
kicked by a baby. It's a
a
baby.
fucking orange or his lunch or some shit.
Well, no, you don't put them in there with other stuff. I mean, that's just stupid. Who puts a baby
Lunch sandwich, tuna sandwich, baby.
just sitting there, just wipe it off afterwards? But also, when they're changing babies,
man.
my mates are
Better put in a plastic bag so nothing leaks, baby.
Here's the other thing, right?
That's what I do with my lunch. I put it in a plastic bag so it doesn't leak in my lunch.
Don't put your baby in a plastic bag. That's stupid.
No, but rucksack's fine, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, 'cause it's got air holes.
Yeah.
It's the air holes.
I mean, obviously not for a long travel.
For people
You're
that-
not
So
gonna
what's
go
the
through London
minimum?
with a baby in a bag. But let's say you're kind of coming back from the shops and you're just like, shit, I ain't got enough hands for this shit. Just pop it in a backpack.
Right.
Put it on the front. Why is that any different to the stupid... So this whole sort of £300 baby carrier with whatever. I mean, it's been in a womb for ages. It's definitely smaller than a backpack. I'm gonna get.
I don't know what to say.
I don't think
Why
that
does
you should
everyone
be a
think that's
father.
so horrific? Yeah, but in Indonesia,
I'm actually speechless.
All right. A sling is fine, but a backpack's not. Why? An open backpack is not fine to put a baby.
Open backpack.
Well, not open, but a little bit open.
You said
keep an eye
fit
on
the
it.
baby up in there, like got air holes.
Well, just sit down, innit? I mean, what else do they do? They just sit around the whole day anyway. It's like, all right, cool, you're sitting down. Right, well, I've got this. And you've got your hands full. You need to carry the baby as well because he's your main responsibility.
I'm shocked
Definitely
with you.
be.
I've known him for over 10 years.
He's never pulled this one out.
I don't get this. I don't get why everyone's so freaked out about this idea. But it's like,
I don't know, maybe the baby might die. I don't know.
Yeah.
the baby dying. You put it in the backpack. You're keeping an eye on it. You got to look there.
I'm pretty sure this is something you go to jail for.
Yeah, surely
Well,
that's...
You'd be like, you turn on the news.
But the daddy backpack things are the exact same
Lev,
thing.
we're going to have to testify against you one day. Like, it's going to be used against you in a court of law. Like, and I'm like, oh.
It's my baby.
I knew this episode was going to come back and bite you,
I
Lev.
remember.
This is the one. This is the
One
one.
of all the ones, it's always ones where you let your guard down.
And we can't even lie. We have to go to court. I'm like, yeah, he said it.
You just mentioned something about baby backpack. Well, come on, that's not the worst charge you serve. It's not like I'm punching.
I tried to get him to use his media training to help you.
I'm not putting them in there with barbed wire. I mean, fuck off. But it's just I could just imagine being got to get down the stairs, got to get up the stairs.
I guess the main
I'm not going to leave the baby. You have to keep an eye on it, right?
I guess the main problem is suffocation.
Why would it suffocate?
Because he put a baby in a fucking rucksack.
Yeah, but you have the rucksack open a little bit, so it's got an air hole.
But still, there's a risk
like
of
having to go and
suffocation.
no, but that's why. Why is that a bad thing? You put it in a sleeping bag, right?
No.
So you go camping with your baby. You tuck it.
There's so much rules about babies. There's certain things you don't do with babies.
I don't think you know the rules
tell
about
I'm
babies,
not
man.
Really ready
There's a
yet.
lot of
I think a year off. I think.
There's a lot of rules.
maybe.
I think you got to do some
Why
studying
is that
first.
babies?
There's even sleeping positions you can't leave your baby in.
In Indonesia, they would take babies, they put them in a little sling, put them around the chest.
What's the life
go about
expectancy
their
in
lives.
Indonesia?
Like 60.
Okay, that's
Maybe
very
more.
high.
Well, yeah, but I mean, admittedly, they have a high child mortality rate. But it's not. But I mean, that's because of healthcare. It's not because they're putting them in slings.
Maybe.
Africa, they put them in slings all the time.
Yeah, well, what's the life expectancy in Africa?
Well, that's completely irrelevant. It's not the child mortality rate.
But there's still a
Actually,
large
very high.
percentage of
That's
people
most of them in
fucking
there,
suffocating on shit.
Yeah, but no, they don't suffocate in a sling.
But the sling is better than a fucking rucksack.
Yeah, the sling is
any different from
because the
With your
sling is
fucking
suspended.
lunch.
Sorry, what do you want to do? Put it on my belly and then it feels right at home. I mean,
Yeah, but
fuck
he's
off.
suspended here.
Yeah.
And he's like he's out here. He's out
You
here.
can breathe. Most
You can
importantly.
breathe. You want to put the baby inside the thing, this tiny little hole where you can look out into the world.
No. Little baby sits down in the backpack. He's
You
on
know,
his own.
baby can't even support his own head, and you're gonna put it in a rucksack.
No. I did say when it can support its head.
You didn't say
Right.
that. Did you say that?
I definitely.
I
said
don't
that.
think he
I
said
totally
that.
said that.
I mean,
If you go back
we've
and
got the recording.
Recording. Okay, I said when it's ready to support its head. Obviously, I'm not going to put a toddler. I mean, toddler definitely. Toddlers you can put in anything. I mean, you can pick. I mean, when they're like 1 or something like that, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying let's do this regularly. I'm just saying.
I'm
I'm saying let's never do it.
I'm gonna give you the best
illegal.
advice of your life. Never put
Yeah,
a baby
please.
in a fucking bag.
Not
Don't
in
do
a
it.
bag, in a
Rucksack, a bag,
Anything.
anything. Do not.
In fact,
do it.
stay away from
Don't do
babies.
it.
Please, stay away from all babies, please. I think that's the best
Les,
advice.
Just put kind of bag.
Guys,
and
this
then,
is why
and
you're
then
not gonna be
how
my
cute.
kid's fucking godfather.
I am his godfather.
No, you're not.
Wait, yes or no?
Well, not after today, you're not. Putting him in a backpack.
His wife.
Definitely not. I'm definitely
3
not.
beers in. It's like let's had a drink. No. Good. Are you
But yeah,
sure?
Yeah, definitely not.
I'm not gonna put your fucking baby. I'm not gonna put your baby.
You
in the
said
bag.
you
You literally spoke for the last 10 minutes.
My baby is fine.
Advocating
Hey,
the
if I
great.
kill it, I can make a new one. Okay, shouldn't know, it's infanticide. That's a whole different dark level. But I'm just saying, if it's your baby, you can do whatever you like. I mean,
Les,
my
you're
mate-
not the-
my mate is
you're not the
literally
baby-
taking his 1-year-old
Baby,
baby.
Les, you can't even be in the same room as the baby. Let alone-
Fine. I'm great with kids.
You can't even see a picture of the baby.
I'm
let
not gonna help
alone-
myself here, but I was a teacher.
God, how many kids did you lose?
Like 2. His wife's coming in. Oh fuck. I'm sorry. I didn't
Anne-Marie,
mean
he
it.
wants to put a baby in a rucksack.
You
What
can
do
put a
think?
baby in a rucksack, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
She's
not.
saying no. She's saying she doesn't like to talk on our podcast, but she's saying no.
Yeah, everyone will say no. Everyone will say no.
was it
You're alone in this. I'm sure of it.
You should put a little gap for it to breathe. You're taking it up the stairs. We're talking up the stairs here. We're not talking like crazy times. I'm not going to take it traveling with me as part of my luggage.
Right.
But I'm just saying, when convenient, and you're in a bit of a pickle. Open the top, put the little baby in there. It can sit down. It's having a nice little time. You just give it a rattle or some shit, and then off you pop.
Seriously, how much did you have in that pub?
2 pennies. I think I'm my 4th. I'm definitely not driving. Yeah. No, she does like to talk on our podcast. Okay, right. Anyway, let's go back to the love of your life.
Can I go to the toilet
Please
and then?
do.
And then
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
How did we get onto babies? I'm lost.
How did that happen? Now I'm defending myself for the baby patrol.
And you won't give up.
God, mum's net's going to be up my ass.
And you won't give up.
Of course I won't give up. I'm argumentative.
Why?
Because I'm competitive. I just don't see your point.
Why
Everyone
not
says,
put baby?
you
Why
can't-
not put a baby in a shoebox?
Well, you can.
I mean, you can. but
Moses
don't
was
do
in
it.
in a basket.
I'll think
What do you
about-
think a fucking baby carrier?
I
is?
watched.
It's
I
a
watched-
shoot. It's a
They
glorified.
have a
shoot.
documentary or mockumentary.
Okay, so where is the line between
They
what
got a
is acceptable
mockumentary.
and not acceptable
They
to
got a
put a baby in?
mockumentary on fucking Netflix about it. And I was just thinking about that. It's a mental story that she fucking put Moses in a basket and left him in a fucking river with his fucking.
Where do you think
the
cops
now
started?
the now crocodiles and shit? And she
Yeah, I mean,
put it in a basket.
I mean, she's not parent of the year, that's for sure.
It is a
Yeah,
men-
but then again,
I
Pharaoh's
get that they were killing.
Pharaoh's trying to kill it.
I get they're trying to kill babies, but she thought that was the best option instead of fleeing Egypt.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I mean, it's quite a walk. And
mean,
desert. I mean, I wouldn't want to go across desert with a baby. I mean, that'd probably die more.
It's better than fucking putting in a fucking river.
Yeah, and let it go down river. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean,
It's a mental
I'd
story.
freak out if I was going to the toilet and I heard crying.
It's a mental story.
It's ridiculous. But that being said, it didn't die.
Yeah, it didn't.
It didn't die. It came back and led all the Jews out of Egypt. Look how well that worked out.
Allegedly, she sent the daughter to follow the.
No, shit, like, it's Scary Mate, yeah, something like that. And it's like, he didn't know it was his sister or some shit like that. Yeah, but I mean, it's like, it's the Bible, a kind of history / allegory. Yeah, but it's a bit like saying, then Thor came out. Actually, no, to be fair, I think it's probably got a bit more legs to it than,
Yeah, it's a mental story.
Let's finish the story about how you met your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Maybe tell me about.
After 1 hour.
Oh yeah, that was ages ago.
I cannot wait to try and write the fucking intro for this. I have to fit this shit into.
I can't wait to
equivalent of
fucking
tweets.
edit this.
Jesus. I'm gonna be like Marlon. It's like cut it down to half an hour. Why? Because you were talking shit.
How long does it usually take to edit one of these?
It depends. Like, if there's not much like to take
I have
out,
to say, I
there's
had
not that mad.
a lot of fun.
Like the Maya, you seen the Maya episode? Is like that was like done in a few days.
How long is the Maya episode?
2 hours 20 minutes.
Okay, no. How many listeners have you got on that? Like,
Tell?
how many people listen to it?
Loads.
Shit. Well, you better fucking bring home the bacon, Sonny Jim. Pressure's on.
I hope
She's got,
so.
like, yeah, honestly, I get like 100 likes for that shit now. It's crazy. Anyway, right, yeah.
But yeah, I was saying, yeah,
Shifty
it
sip of water.
just depends.
Half of his followers are
Yeah.
bots.
It just depends on like what I have to take out. Like, cause obviously I send it. To,
Right.
I'll send it to you.
Did she actually have any edits?
Yeah, 3 edits.
Really? What
Yeah.
were they?
I'm not gonna say.
Oh, of course you can't say it. Yeah. Okay.
But like, I would have thought just the camera, choosing the different camera angles would be quite long.
we had one of my exes on here, and she's a very sensible person, and I guess in a way that's why we gelled, but it's also why we didn't. And it's like, but she almost like cancelled after like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh god,
That's not the camera angles are not that bad because you just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Right.
You just choose.
Yeah.
Flick. That's easy.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
and also you trying to edit me out when I'm having a real vape. And
I don't edit that. I don't edit that much out.
well, it's okay. Mom doesn't watch.
I might not even edit this out.
All right, whatever. Okay, so the point is, okay, let's get to the point. Okay, so
Yes. So
the
basically,
point. All right, keep it to like 10 sentences. I'm joking.
I'll try.
That's new.
I'll try.
Go.
That's new.
Boom.
Holy shit! I never thought I'd say that. I'm so sorry.
Huh?
Like now I know. Yeah, I know exactly how that feels. I had a boss who was like, Les, in 2 sentences, I want you to tell me what happened. I was like, everything's fine. Perfect. And in retrospect, that's how I should have treated the rest of my job. But oh well. All right, go on, crack on. Sorry. Okay, so you met love of your life, long distance relationship.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say love of my life because this interview is eternal, and who knows what can happen.
Well, yeah, so far. I mean,
So
that's how I
far.
put it. The love of my life so far.
Yeah, so far.
Obviously, otherwise you'd have it. Like your exes and whatever. You're just like, like.
No, I mean that's how you feel at the moment.
Yeah,
so you can
well,
say
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, everyone thinks with the love of their lives, and then they get divorced. But anyway, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Nice ring.
Well,
Diamond.
are you married?
Yeah, I'm married.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's his wife.
Oh, cool, man. When was the wedding?
In lockdown, 3 years ago.
In lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to be one of the ushers, and then he was like,
Yeah, you was originally the groomsman,
Oh,
then
it
you had to
sucks.
fire you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it turned out they didn't even know because they changed the restriction from like 30 to 50.
I could only have one of my groomsmen.
Right.
So I kept my best man and got rid of everybody else.
Did you not want to wait till after COVID? Or
No, he
you
chose
just
Paulie.
Somebody asked me that this week. No,
Really want to be that party.
somebody asked me that this week. Did I want to wait? I thought about waiting, but we didn't know at the time how long it was going to take.
Yeah, exactly.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's so
you
true.
always think,
Yeah.
like,
If
hindsight.
I knew, if
Yeah.
I knew, I would like wait a year. But
Yeah.
we didn't know.
Anyway.
That's so true.
Even my grandmother was like, "You don't know how long it's going to be."
Yeah.
Oh god, and also Boris kept changing his mind.
Yeah.
I was reporting for the Sun at the time.
Yeah.
Fuck me, those guys.
Did you guys watch the rise and fall of Boris Johnson?
I haven't watched.
I'm sorry, I want to talk about this because this, I think, I'm not like, a massive Bojo fan, but it was the greatest documentary I've seen in a long time. Honestly, he's a very fascinating guy. And me and my mum binge watched this in the last few days.
New Yorker.
For New Yorker, yeah. Anyway, so you asked me how I met my girlfriend. We were outside in Malta.
Go on.
So we were outside outside this restaurant in Malta, and my friend, I remember because I said brazy, and then we were the Crips. I'm not a Crip. I'm not a Blood.
Yeah, we know.
But my friend did do the braziest thing I've ever seen anyone do, and it will go down in history as that.
What did we do?
These 2 girls and a boy were walking by, and he goes to one of the girls. Excuse me, would you like to go on a date next Thursday? Just open with that.
Yeah.
And she said yes.
Wow.
And in that moment, he didn't know what to do, obviously, because he wasn't expecting a yes. And he had a kind of his moment of like, and I was like, you have to go there. So he went over.
It's a bit like catcalling girls in the street almost. Like, yeah, go on. It's like, what? What?
So, yeah. And then they were talking, and I was with my friends, my other friend, and I was like, I should probably go over there so it doesn't seem weird for these other 2. And one of these other 2 was my current girlfriend.
Oh.
And just very meanly chatted, like they were asking for recommendations for restaurants. They left, we left, carried on with our day. Then 3 hours later,
Yeah.
who did we bump into?
Them.
But the 2 girls.
Cool.
And I think this is the first
It's
point,
such a sort of like, fate type thing.
right?
It's got vibes.
Yeah. And like at that point, I think I was kind of doing like some sort of bit of like, our friends are getting married. We become friends. You know, we got to work together.
Give me a number.
I think honestly, at this point, I don't even think if I was even
She's
really
your first proper girlfriend, though, isn't she?
first girlfriend. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And at this point, I don't think I was necessarily like super interested that way. I think that over time it did, and we went to this Irish bar, and me and my friend, the one who called out. I think we've always had this tendency to kind of. I mean, we're both actors, so we have this tendency to kind of like try and show off.
Yeah,
to
a peacock fan.
I guess so. Yeah, and we're both pretty decent dancers, and so we arrived at this Irish bar. They're playing karaoke, and we just start busting moves, and this would work.
Classic.
You know, but for these
Shit
two,
face wasted. The old left step to the old left foot, right foot. Yeah, go on.
but it didn't work, and they were just weirded out. And the only thing that saved us was our third friend. Shout out now, Maximilian Leaf. He's also an actor.
What a Max.
Great actor.
Top lad.
And because he's the most normal one of us.
Oh god.
And you know,
there's always a normal one, isn't there?
Yeah,
It's
the normal one.
Usually it's the other way around. Yeah, I was always the weird one of our group, and I was always the one who chat with the girls. So it's like, I'd go over there, chat them up, and then the boys would clean house, and I'd just be sitting there with the other weird one. And I was like, my love life was a patchwork quilt of.
No shit, you're definitely always the weird one.
You literally called me the star of the show the other day.
Yeah,
but the star of the show is the weird one. The weird one is
yeah.
always the most interesting person.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I'm doing the podcast with you, because you're fucking weird.
That's not. In fact, I literally wrote down what you said because I was drunk enough to do it. You said, and I quote,
Fucking up.
"Yes, I know."
Damn, this must have meant a lot to him.
We went
Honestly,
drinking last week.
Yeah, like this.
I said a lot of
week,
drunk shit.
You said, "Why not be great? You are the best. Yeah, you have the best microphone. It's. This is a problem with shorthand. Anyway, it's all about you popping off. Monon gave you the best mic for a reason. He gives him some flowers because I'm the star to him. I can do it.
Wow.
I will admit though that the shorthand that I wrote and the
I can't believe you wrote that down.
I've got my little whiteboard at home. And it says, "Don't do it for Marlon." Literally,
Don't do it for Marlon.
No, it says, "Do it for."
Do it for Marlon.
It says, "Don't let Marlon down." I came home, I was quite drunk still. Yeah. I was like, "Don't let Marlon down," and I've left it there.
That is hilarious. I didn't realize you wrote that down.
It meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to what you said.
So Marlon, I have a quick question before we continue my story.
Back to the thing.
But I have to quickly ask: do you feel like he's let you down?
I need to do more editing.
No, I don't feel like he's letting me down. I feel like he's letting himself down.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ, we have to do this online.
Yeah.
All right.
How is he letting himself down?
No, because I feel like he's
success.
a talented person, and he just needs to realize that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's like part of the ADHD is that like you couldn't achieve these amazing things, but you never see your merits over the flaws because you're always looking for that flaw. Because as a kid, like growing up with ADHD, you get criticized a lot more than the average person. You're always being told, "All right, settle down." Little nudges towards you're too much. I hear that a lot. I hear less is more, too much, shit like that. So you're never really sure where the boundary is, where is too much and where is brilliant.
Yes.
It's like, where is the line for everyone else?
I'll say that's all right.
That's why you understand.
I'll say that's all correct, but I just need, somehow if you're able to control it, where you're able to put on the too much at times, like how you might have to do in your films.
Yeah, but the line
and then like rein it back a bit. If you're able to somehow figure out how to do that somehow.
That's why you need. When you write, for example, I don't.
It's a hard one though. It's a very hard.
I think
one.
it's what I was saying earlier about balance, right? And that's what that is. And I think it's the hardest thing to do.
You want to give everything, but you don't know like how much is too much. I mean, for example, like the last job I did, it was like they were like, "We need you to write a really good article," and then they actually wanted 600 words. Well, one of the persons said,
"What does that mean? 600 words, like not good."
Page in a bit, and you just like. The average page is about 500, but it depends how you space it out and whatever. But but what I'm saying is that it's like like when you're not given a definitive quantity, then then it's limitless, and unless you give it, and then when everyone else is like, oh, like we like to think outside the box, and this is one of the questions I've been asking in my interviews. So what does a box look like? And people are like, oh, we like to think outside the box, and everyone else kind of seems to get that. But actually, when you've got an imagination and you've got like the creativity and the power of like all of the ideas and that generation that comes to idea, with ADHD, and like you have you're told you have no limits, then you will create and build and build and build until you're exhausted. And that's a beautiful thing. But when the job requires a succinct answer, that's why, for example, we tend to go off tangents. We try and give the whole backstory when it doesn't need to be there necessarily. We build a world for people instead of just writing a couple of paragraphs. Like let's say the cat sat on the mat. like we'll use all the adjectives. We'll create a backstory for the fucking cat. Like cat, Mr. Tibblesworth was a short little cat. He didn't like his left leg; it was stumpy. And because you picture this world, like what's going on, and you try and describe the picture, and the picture paints 1,000 words. It's probably why we speak so fast. But also, it is to do with evolution, I think, because in my a piece that I wrote actually about how the role of ADHD over history is that we used to be the hunter-gatherers, we used to be the night watchmen. And so we were the best hunters, we were the best, because we have all these other little bits, like, for example, if something clicks behind me, I know exactly where it is. I know everything, and at nighttime I feel quite calm, but I can hear everything. I can feel it. And it's really weird. And everyone else is like, oh, we're just camping. I do not sleep when we're camping. But I will go to bed at like 2 a.m. I will wake up at 11, things like that. And it's like, because that's when everyone else is more alert and I don't have to worry. But until 2 a.m, I'm almost on guard. I'm watching TV nowadays, but that's the whole difficulty of having ADHD is that, you've evolved these senses, and we were fundamentally, I believe, fundamental to survival in tribal periods where, you have like nighttime raids, things like that. You can hear it, you can feel it. If someone's that alert, that quick, that, and we're also very into our exercise, we have all that excess energy because it's not being used to hunt. And so we had to go to the gym more, we had to do this and that. And, but then again, we also have that motivation thing of now and not now. So it's like, for example, when I'm looking for jobs, I'll do 40 hours worth of work in the space of 4 hours because I'll get hyper-focused, I'll just go, bash out a load of stuff.
Yeah.
But then for the rest of the week, or for the next day, I'll just be like, because there's no sense of urgency. If there's a sense of urgency, if there's some, if there's urgency, interest, stuff like that, the kind of things that, for example, if there's a deer running through the forest and we're hungry, I'll find that fucking deer, and that makes us quite creepy in the real world now because it's like, if someone upsets us, I mean, for example, when my motorbike got stolen, I hunted little cunts down. I know their address is 11 Connaught Way in Birkenhead is the address that the teenagers that stole my motorbike. That's their address. And it took me 3 days to find them. The police hadn't even got off their asses. That's the difference. And I did that through Facebook, through social media, through my skills as a journalist. I found the little cunt. And the only reason I couldn't go and get it myself was because the police told me that it would be vigilantism and they'd have to arrest me. They got in the way of their own investigation. But anyway, I digress. The point is that, we're very, very naturally very, very good at this kind of thing. But in this world, now we're in modernity where everyone has to be placid, everyone has to be a farmer, everyone has to be sort of, you can't go on the attack, you can't be aggressive, you can't be, passive, you have to be passive, you have to be, malleable, you have to fit in with the herd, but you can't do that if you if you're not built to do that. Yeah. That's why there's that disconnect, and that's why we end up with a lot of depression, a lot of anxieties. If it's all calm and nothing's happening, that's when ADHD people are like the most like, because you need something to be happening. And for example, but if this apartment went on fire, I'd know exactly what to do. I'd take all of you out, no problem at all. I'd be actually,
I would know what to do as well.
I'd be super duper calm. I had the baby in the bag, everything. And but I'd have it all sorted out, and everyone else gets freaked out, and there's me just like, thank God, because that's the most relaxed I get. Same with things like sex and whatever. You just you're very good at what you do because you're determined to win, and it's just Hey, you ever hear a complaint?
Well, there's that one girl.
Which one? None of them. Thank you. Anyway, the point
I'm not
is
gonna name her.
Oh, yeah, but she was a bitch. But she just didn't like me. She didn't like me, man. She was but she was mean. Anyway, but anyway, and she had a reputation as well. So anyway, the point is that
you already know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And to be fair though, still shagged her. Anyway, so the point is that so let's get back to your love life before I start talking about my brain. So you met her, she's Portuguese, you're dancing, she's like not having it, and then you're having it a bit more. What's going on?
Long story short.
Yeah, that was the story. We met before. Have I said this to you before? I do remember. I feel like after it happened, I literally would go around and just telling the story to every single person that I'd meet. So maybe I didn't mean you knew the story.
When you're in love, you're just like not obsessed in a creepy way, but you're just like, you're everything. I mean, honestly, I keep bringing up my girlfriend, for example, and no one knows who the hell she is. Like, she ain't coming on here. Like, she doesn't even listen to this thing, I don't think.
Why not? Does she not?
I really hope she doesn't.
She follows us on Instagram and all that. And watch our videos.
Aww, she's the best. Anyway, she's your best. So, right. Well, she's lovely, isn't she? Yeah. Anyway, right.
Let's see, he's having that moment now.
Yeah, I'm having the moment, yeah.
So you're both in love, yeah?
Well, are you not? She's right there.
I'm joking. Of course I'm married.
Right there.
I'm the one that's married here.
But are you in love? No, I'm joking. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going there. All right. Okay, so you meet the girl. Jesus Christ, it's been an hour and a half of this shit. All right, okay. So
2 hours and a half.
Jesus. You met the girl.
Is this your longest episode?
No.
Or do you do?
No,
What's
No,
the
we had
longest?
3.5. I think
The one with Curly
Wordy.
Wordy.
3.5 hours.
3.5.
Yeah, he almost cried.
Damn.
So, get to the end of the story. Everyone cross yourselves.
After 2 hours.
Okay. So you met the girl. She goes to the. She's in the. You're doing the 1 step, 2 step.
I'm doing the 1
She
step,
ain't
2
feeling
step.
it.
I'm not feeling it. And luckily, our friend Max was there, just being normal and just having a normal conversation with them.
Actually.
And so they were still mildly interested. And then they just couldn't anymore, and they just buggered off. And they were like, "Okay, bye." And yeah, again, at that point, I wasn't that invested. You know, I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." Yeah. And then, like, we go out into the area. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the Soho of Malta, basically, where like all the kind of clubs are.
Fantastic.
And we go there, and my friend Max is like, "Oh, well, they said they're going to be in this area. I'm sure I can find them." And he went around, and somehow he found them.
Wow.
And he brought them to us.
Small place.
It is a very small island.
It is kind of it's a small island. Yeah.
Go on.
I think the whole island is smaller than London.
Doesn't matter. Go on. Stay on track. Come on. I can't believe I'm the one saying this. This is really weird. Come on.
But yeah, so I think that was the moment I was like, oh, interesting. And I think that's when I told her, I was like, oh, I think you're very attractive. And
You use those words, you sexy bitch.
I think I did.
Aww.
And then we went in.
Definitely 18.
And then we went into the club, and you know, yeah, she was, as you said, she wasn't really feeling me, and she wasn't really sure, you know, and
Never are.
yeah. And then they leave, and I was like, kind of sad, but I was like, okay, whatever. And then I woke up the next morning, and I just couldn't stop thinking about her. And then I went down. My two friends had already woken up, and they'd gone had breakfast, and I go there, and I asked my friend, who was obviously speaking to other girls, like, oh, what's happening with them? And he goes, oh, they've left. And I get really sad.
No.
And he's such an idiot, because they hadn't left. He was like, I just wanted to see how serious you are.
You met her yesterday, for fuck's sake. Why did you need to have a chat?
Because remember, we're all actors, so we're all very dramatic. And he's probably the most dramatic of us all.
Like, you know, that's a dick move. Like, you know, it's just like, I just want to know how much you care before I let you qualify to chat up that random girl. You know, like, okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah. But yeah, then they were still, and they were still in Malta. But I remember they were actually supposed to leave that day,
Right.
but for some reason they ended up staying. And then we met them in the Irish bar again. It turns out after we left, they went back to the Irish bar that night.
Okay.
And so that as we went there again and kind of just hung out and went to the bar, and again, similar to the night before, you know, like she wasn't really feeling me, and then she was like, I would kind of go up to her, and then she'd dance to me, and then she'd be like, oh nah, and this would continue all throughout all the night until like
hot and cold, man. I mean, honestly, it sounds like a lot of effort.
it was the most effort I've ever put into
Well, clearly, I mean, you haven't had a
pursuing a girl.
Yeah.
And then like near the end, like we do it again, and finally we kiss, and it was the greatest kiss of that until then, you know, it was like super magical. And yeah, then afterwards, like we walked her home and said goodbye.
Was it your
and-
first kiss?
No, my first kiss, that was
16.
the first kiss was actually on camera.
Wow.
In that film.
Wow.
And they didn't even use it, and I was so nervous.
What
The
film?
City of Tiny Lights, the first film I did.
Really?
Yeah, my first kiss
oh,
was in
shit.
that, and I was so nervous. And the worst thing about that, the boyfriend of the girl who I was kissing
I've
was
always
there
wondered
as an
about
extra.
actors. Yeah.
Oh my
my god, no.
So it was like so much
You're
pressure.
just like keeping eyes on him, like he's not gonna swing, he's not gonna swing. Security. You know, it's in the script. It's in the script.
Is that a good film, by the way? After you're gonna say yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not been published, though, is it?
It's out.
It's out. I think you
I'm
can
just
still watch
gonna
it on
watch that. I
Netflix.
just want to see your first kiss now. I was gonna.
It's not in there.
I'm gonna check it out.
It's not in there.
I'm gonna check that film.
Anyway, all right.
Looks good.
So you meet the girl, you kiss her.
We
and then
kiss, and I walk her home, and then I go back to my apartment, and the same thing happened with my friend.
Very
We
gentleman,
walked her
yeah,
home, and we were just very sad, you know, and like
Sad?
Because, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention they were leaving in like
okay,
4
okay.
hours. That was
Oh,
a
wow.
crude part.
I mean, they stayed out quite late then. I mean, like, you know, like
yeah. And,
Usually it's a case of like, you know, like, oh shit, get him. You know, like, yeah, go on.
yeah. And like, you know, super sad. And then the next day, I was really just thinking like, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
Like
you
she lives in
live
Portugal.
here,
Like that's ridiculous. For before, I wouldn't even consider like someone from Watford,
nobody else.
for example.
Watford is far.
Watford is far, dude.
Watford is far.
Watford is hella far.
And also it's Watford. Fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe to find in Watford. It's like away from Watford. Oh. Watford. It's like Slough. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry, we've got 5 minutes left. Go on.
So I was like gonna forget about it and just it was a nice memory. It was a nice thing on holiday.
Yeah.
And then my friend was like, may as well message her. You never know what's gonna happen. And so I messaged her and we were messaging, and I think we made a joke like that we were gonna go to Lisbon, and
That's like why she's from Lisbon, Portugal.
well, yeah, Lisbon and Port. She was at the time she lived in Lisbon. So and so did her friend. And we kind of, when we met them, we were like making a joke like, oh yeah, we're going to Lisbon for my birthday because my birthday comes up soon. And then I started talking to her, and we were speaking a lot, and like finding out we get along, and I was like, I think I might go to Lisbon for my birthday.
Wow.
And then within a month we had our second lads holiday to Lisbon. We all went to Lisbon.
Wow.
And
Did you say hers or?
no, because we just met.
We talked for a month.
Yeah, but
I mean, you need someone to stay.
no, we
All right, fair enough. All right,
we
not at that stage yet. All right.
It wasn't at that stage yet for sure.
Yeah, keep
That is very weird, by the way.
If you go all that way, I mean, you got a friend there. You
It's
might as
very
well.
weird. That would be
I stay at yours if I was here.
No, you wouldn't.
All right.
It's a different.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But anyway, so we got a place. We got
in the past. Not my weirdest date either. Go on.
So we got an Airbnb, and I think the first time I saw her, she was going to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then she was like sad because she had to go with her cousin. She was like, "Oh, I'm not able to see you, but let me see if I can get you a ticket."
You went all that way. She couldn't even get. Okay, yeah, go on.
So she tried to get me a ticket, and then the guy that sold her a ticket didn't get, like, basically double crossed her. And I was like, "Fuck it, I'm buying a ticket." Got the ticket. It was a great night. Saw her every night. At the end of it, took her out for a super expensive meal. It was her friend that recommended me this place, and it was like super expensive. But I asked her to be my girlfriend at that dinner.
Cute.
And I keep the receipt. I kept the receipt.
Oh, I've done that as well for my first date. I've still got my on my wall. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, like, we went
That's
to
really cute.
Yeah, that was it. And then we went to Malaga, like, for our first trip, and kind of been meeting in the middle and going back and forth.
She's literally a girl in every port. Like she's your girl in every port.
What?
A girl in every port. It's like a sailor expression.
Oh, I don't.
Girl in every port.
Oh,
Never
right,
mind,
okay.
Never mind. It's a bit too
Did
old.
you get that? The girl in every port? I did.
All right, never mind. Yep, go on.
But yeah, that's it, and it's now I'm in my first relationship. It's a long distance
How long have you been
relationship,
together?
and it's I don't know, 10 months. It was in June.
That's a lot.
Last June.
You're not finding it a bit pressury?
100%. And I have to keep.
For her to come over here, or you go over there, or
Yeah, we go back and forth, and we often
how
will
often do you
meet
see each other.
At the moment. It's very sporadic, because my life is obviously very unpredictable. Like, and she works a normal job.
Oh God.
So she also doesn't really get even that much
I
time
work
off.
a normal job.
Say again.
I think I work a normal job.
What do you do as your normal
You do
job?
not want to know.
Or do we
A
not?
very, very boring job.
Is there something?
He's a cop. No, I'm joking.
Interesting.
I'm a drug
As soon as you
dealer.
say him, yeah, he's a drug dealer. Yeah. The rap game didn't work out, so he's
Right.
living the life.
Let me try and make a rap career after I've lived the life.
On the way home after all this, by the way. Yeah, but anyway, all right, let's wrap it up. Okay, so you on your way over here, you were talking about how you had. By the way, absolutely delighted that you found a girl who's absolutely lovely. I'm sure she's beautiful and whatever. I mean, all the best. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous the fact that you kind of keep meeting these exotic places. It's really cool. Remember the death of Princess Diana?
I don't
She
remember.
was married to King Charles.
I know who she is. I am aware of her.
I'm like same age as you. I didn't know who she was when she died. It's only when she died that the Austin was like a shitstorm.
Oh yeah, it was a shit again.
But I didn't know who she was before she died.
I remember
Really?
crying on
Was
TV.
I would have thought that she would have been the most famous.
I had no idea.
is.
But to be fair, I was 7 years old. I was 8 years old.
Yeah,
So I had no idea who she was.
Yeah.
So I got it's weird because it was like a family member of ours died.
Oh, it's weird.
I got a phone call in the middle of the night from my uncle who's working security
the
guard,
national.
and he called my mum at 4 in.
I've never seen national grief like it. It's
He called my mum at
weird.
4 in. I remember because I'm like the phone's ringing, and that time in the morning somebody's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like Princess Diana died, and my mum went to me like, yeah, Princess Diana died. I was like,
But were your family like emotional? Were they crying about
No,
it?
they weren't crying, but it's just that the fact
Everyone wants
the
to
fact
know.
that we received the phone call at 4 in the morning. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, and it's a house phone.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's a house phone. Like,
you're just
like the whole house. The whole house knows about it. So I'm like, my mom tells to me like, I'm like, what? And then she's like,
tears in her eyes.
she's like, Marlon, I don't know how to tell you this, but Princess Diana died.
Who gives a fuck?
And I'm like, who?
Yeah. Like, you know, I mean, like, when you think about it now, it's like, you know, Angelina Jolie's dead, all right. You know, like, I mean, like, you know, it's like...
I've never seen anything like
she's
it
not,
before.
but-
What, in terms of
The
the...
reaction.
Right. What about when the Queen died?
No, it wasn't that. It was
Not
like,
the same scale.
I was at work, and then somebody goes to me, I think the Queen's dead.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
like,
she's
she
dying.
died of cancer.
I'm like, oh shit.
She got bone
But
cancer.
to be fair, I was upset about
She's
it.
like 90, of course
Yeah.
she's going to
Yeah,
die.
I was
She's like
upset.
98 or something.
I was upset about because you've seen this person your whole life.
Yeah, it
But-
still doesn't feel like it's...
Yeah.
I'd much rather die for Queen and Country
Yeah.
if I was to be like a 00
Yeah.
something. You know, it's like 00 Leslie.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, like, it's just like, I'd much rather die for Queen and Country. There's something
Yeah.
romantic about
Yeah.
it, you know, even though I'm not...
I was very
you know,
Right.
she's dead.
I was-
Good to clarify,
I'm not
yeah.
a necrophiliac.
I
or
was very
anything,
sad,
you know,
but
it's
like,
like,
I
yeah.
remember Queen. Like,
But for Queen and Country,
I
it sounds
remember-
so much sexier than for Charles.
But I remember,
You know,
Princess,
like, ugh.
I remember when Princess that it was like in the middle of the night, we got a phone call. It was like weird. Like the Queen was like, I was at work. Somebody said to me, I think the Queen's gonna die. And then I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I
was
got
trying-
home. And
Wait,
then-
you had a phone call from someone saying, I think the Queen's going to die?
No, I got a phone call about
her mum's
Princess
always,
Diana.
his mum's always the phone.
Oh.
But when the Queen died, somebody at work turned to me and says, I think the Queen's
Yeah,
gonna
we
die.
saw it coming. I mean, like, she stopped
And I was
doing
like,
public
oh
engagement.
shit. And I got home, turned on the news. I don't watch the news normally. And I was then like, oh, the Queen's dead. And I got like a notification on my phone. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean,
But it was like Princess Diana. It was like a member of the family that you got that phone call.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
crazy. It's like it's really weird. Like when that happened, like it's just like everyone just freaked out and it's
Because
like,
like
why?
you know, like somebody in your family died, you call somebody. No matter what time it is, like 3 in the morning, you call them.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
like, your mum's dead.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
But
the
it'd be
kind of
weird if
thing.
somebody goes to me, "Oh, Michael Jackson died at 3 in the morning." I'm like, "Why the fuck are you calling me at 3 in the morning?" Tell
Yeah.
me that.
Yeah, I've got an
weird.
Instagram notice
But I
on
think
there
also
already.
the difference probably was with then and like the Queen now is that it was like before the internet.
Yeah,
So you
the
wouldn't get
internet
the
has kind of
pings.
killed that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, the pings is like everyone knows already. It's like, you know, I mean, I remember doing like
Yeah, you have to actually call people to be like, "This has happened."
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
they might not know. They might not. Whereas
It's
everyone
like,
knows.
it's really weird. It's like, you know, like why is everyone crying in the street kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, right. Okay, so should we wrap it up?
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Les Steed,
I'm on a white.
and
I was Reiss Kershi.
thank you very much for listening. All right, see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. All
That
right.
was great.